On October 13, Chadwick Boseman and Sterling K. Brown in Marshall, based on a true story.
I'm Thurgood Marshall. I only represent people accused because of race.
Before he became the first African-American Supreme Court justice.
Did you do what they said you did?
He attacked me.
I never touched that woman.
Thurgood Marshall was a man on a mission.
The only way to get through a bigot's door is to break it down.
Critics rate Marshall is outstanding. 4 stars. One of the best movies of the year. Marshall, rated PG-13. In theaters October 13. Maybe inappropriate for children under 13.
In a world crying out for a top 10 show, John Rocha and Matt Knost are here to bring you the top 10. Brought to you by the Schmoes Know. Take it away, boys. Welcome, everybody, to this week's The Top 10 show. I am John Rocha.
I am Matt Knost. How are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's been a couple of weeks. I've been working over here at Collider, doing things, and just trying to keep up with this new schedule of mine. How are you?
I am fine.
Yeah?
Had a long day already, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the show.
Yeah. I am, too. I can't believe we finally got these two
assholes. I didn't think one of them would ever come on.
I was going to say guests, but all right. Yeah, sure.
These two assholes. They know how I feel about it. They're my two favorite people.
Yeah.
They're my two favorite people.
Matt does not show affection easily.
No.
So the fact that he has shown constant affection for you two guys is pretty amazing.
And I'll happily tell you why. You want to do it on the intro?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. When we came here, I didn't know anybody, and these two were just so easy to get along with. They made the environment so much fun. Mm-hmm. Like, I miss that dynamic. I like what we're back to because it's a rhythm we know.
Yeah.
But you guys were an amazing spark in the room, even on the subtle things with the title cards, or not the title cards, but the graphics.
The graphics
put our lists up and all that jazz.
We worked very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard on that.
Adam loved doing
it. It was
that.
fantastic.
Woo. Yeah.
You made the transition over here so easy between the two of us. It was fun in the room.
And for those of you
who could have done what we do, given time constraints, it's kind of impossible.
Right. And for those of you who don't understand when Matt is referencing you coming to the show late or new, Matt's talking about when we did the show on camera here at Collider.
Yeah.
We're actually recording in the Collider studio right now using the mics. The two gentlemen who helped us during the entire show, Adam Smith and Cody Hall.
Good job.
Are here.
Nailing it.
You almost called me Corey. I saw it. You almost called me Corey.
I've been working for 9 hours, man.
It's okay. Hang in there, buddy.
But and they were so great for us, and they made the show so much more fun to do. We got to play with them, and the graphics they put. I mean, your Castaway graphic is still the favorite graphic.
We watched that like a week or two ago. We're still crying.
We laughed till we cried.
Yeah,
There were so many good ones, though.
I've never laughed harder.
My favorite was because we had to record for my schedule one early.
Yes.
And we had, what was it, Tomb Raider or some other tie-in, and it was after we got in the rhythm of doing the others. And they were like, the hell does this graphic have to do with anything? I saw that comment and I was like, well, that's because I had to go out of town. These people were nice enough to come in and work an extra hour one night. You are kind of right. That one was my fault.
I remember after that infamous Castaway graphic, the power went to Adam's head, and he wouldn't let me do any more graphics.
Oh, really?
He did the Castaway. He did the Castaway one.
Exactly.
And I was like, you need me to help with top 10 stuff? He's like, nope, I got it.
I live for those punchlines. I live for those moments. Seeing Matt Knost, just laugh to the point of tears. Red
for
face.
like 4 minutes straight.
That was the hardest I laughed in like forever, like a month.
It was epic. It was epic.
They were great.
I've never felt so
It's just
happy
the more
with
I
my
looked
work.
at it, because then you started pointing out things, and I go, oh yeah, that does look like it. It was so evocative, I love bad Photoshop. It's the best sometimes.
Woo, and that's what we do. That's what we're best at.
That's what we bring to the table.
The Castaway one was fucking genius. That was not bad at all.
But at the same time, there's not 17 filters over the top to seamlessly blend me into the picture. It's me. My angle doesn't quite match up with where his head is close.
A little bit of an awkward kind of look.
Looks like you're breaking your neck because you're
a little smirk on
Either
your
that or
face,
my
too.
hairline is just so different from every other person alive.
I think I had a Predator one or a Western one that was really great. So I was very happy to see those. Those were great. You guys. So anyway, so we decided we wanted to invite Adam and Cody onto the show as a thank you and as a let's do something fun with them, because we always like to find guests we can have fun with. And Cody and Adam off the mic are a lot of fun anyway. So this is just this is perfect.
I mean, if you were duds, we wouldn't have asked you on. Thank you so much for being great.
5 minutes in, they're going to realize how bad of a decision this was. Oh my God, what were we thinking?
Don't worry, Cody.
Yeah. Number one.
Well, real quickly, I want to do just a little bit of background on you guys before we start the list.
Yeah.
Adam, how did you get into this? Like, where are you from originally? Like, how did you get into all this production stuff that you do now?
Okay, cool. So I moved out here a week after high school.
Wow.
Yeah. From Arizona. Chandler, Arizona.
Chandler,
Arizona. Nice little
Lovely
small
country.
town. Yeah. It's growing. It's growing, you know. They have a couple Panda Expresses now.
Somebody's eyeing a job at the tourism board over
I'm
there.
thinking about it.
There's
I'm
a
thinking
Best Buy.
about it.
There's
You
a
know,
Best
A lot of moving and shaking going on over here.
the opportunities are there. All right, so I moved out here.
Hence you leaving as soon as high school finished. That's what you do when the best opportunities are around you.
They didn't teach me too well in high school.
Okay.
So
Fair
so I
enough.
moved out here. I met up with Dennis Zen, and he gave me my first internship.
Wow.
Yes, my first production job, and that was about 10 years ago. Working at a place called Music Plus TV. We had a lovely time over there until it all imploded on itself. And then I was unemployed for a little while. Met back up with him. Well, I actually worked at the Tonight Show in the meanwhile, and that was really nice. That was a good time.
Wow.
I was the
With
head writer's assistant
Conan,
over there.
with
Jay Leno.
Hey, doesn't
just
that
for
look-
your audience
still
there.
the Tonight Show.
It was still
It's still the Tonight Show.
It was, but the shame is still real.
Okay, to each their own.
The whole Conan debacle, I'm not trying to derail this in the
No,
least.
fine. Look, let's
got inside
get to know
information.
Adam. Let's get to know
We don't
Adam.
have any time restraints on this version of the show, okay? No.
Yeah, have fun.
Good. All right, so here we go. Jay Leno is Jay Leno's a sweet man. He's a consummate professional.
Yeah,
He
everyone
shows
says
it.
that.
Oh my God, just the first man in, the last man out. Never throwing chairs or anything of the like. Just doing the responsible thing day in and day out. I have a lot of love and respect for that man. And the position was great too. I was the head writer's assistant. Was able to get some
That's a good job.
on-screen time as well. I was Adam the Page, so I did a lot of the audience work.
Sure.
Appeared over 70 times.
Wow.
Yes, my resume is large, but
Holy
but
shit.
now I'm a technical director behind the scenes, at a local YouTube channel site known as
Right.
Collider Video.
It's the future of media.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Riding the
Exactly.
wave.
Right.
Boom. And so
fascinating.
here I am, and then you guys came in, and now here we are.
Here we are.
Wow. And that's
All right.
my story.
Cody,
Yeah.
back. Follow that
Mine
up,
is not
Cody.
nearly as exciting as that. I grew up in Corona, a small
okay.
town that's not in Orange County. It's not in L.A. County. It's in San Bernardino County, where nothing ever happens. I just was really into movies. Went to Cal State Fullerton, got my degree in film, realized that a degree in film gets you absolutely nowhere. But if you're a fan of a YouTube channel called Schmozno, I can't even pronounce it now,
Right.
you can become an intern, and then good things will happen eventually after that. And I ended up at this job, cutting a bunch of the shows. Yeah,
What was your first nickname when you came on? Because they give all the interns nicknames.
yeah mine was
Yeah.
Upham.
Upham, that's
Yeah,
right.
you know, that's
We haven't heard that in a
wow.
long time.
Yeah, I try not to bring it up. I try not to remind
Oh,
people
sorry,
that that's
sorry,
a thing.
Cody.
Thanks for you want to cut that out.
Yeah. Well, what was it after that, though? Did you get Dobby
After-
for a while or something?
It was Dobby because I did an impression of the elf, and then people kept
I
calling
remember
for it.
Dobby. I met you at
Yeah.
Dobby phase.
Yeah,
Someone might have said
that joke got beaten
but
to the ground pretty quickly too. And the one funny thing I did on the show, they're like, "Keep doing that," and I was like, "Okay, it's not funny anymore." Yeah.
But then if you keep doing it, it turns back into funny.
That could be, yeah.
You just got to ride it.
Yeah.
What did you
Sure.
study to do at Cal State Fullerton? I know film, but what
It
specifically?
was mostly like screenwriting and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like that. Yeah, a
All
little
right.
bit of producing and editing and stuff, but
Gotcha.
mostly on the writing side. Yeah.
Okay, and then you stuck around and learned how to do all the stuff behind the scenes, and now you're, now
Learning
you got a
kind of
full-time
on the
job
fly.
here.
Yeah,
It's
It's been
That
really
is
fun.
fantastic.
And you were getting paid
Fantastic.
nothing, like because you were interning,
Oh yeah,
right? So you
Yeah.
were laying this groundwork. You had no idea where this was going to go.
Yeah,
and-
just believing in the channel, having a lot of fun every
Right.
Thursday or whatever, and then eventually it all worked out.
What were you doing?
Still
as a
not getting
day-
paid.
No,
Still not getting
Still
paid.
only getting paid for a long time. I'd have been like, "Fuck this." Yeah.
What were you doing as a day job?
Yeah, I worked at a movie theater for about 5 years as a cast member and a manager for a couple years, which was really funny because I'd look like I'm 12 and I'd wear
Yeah.
a suit, and then no one would ever take me seriously. I'd be like, "Okay, where's the real boss? I want to talk to the real manager. What's going on here?"
Which theater?
At a Regal.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
One out in Anaheim Hills is where
Okay.
I would work. Yeah.
That's funny. Cody would show up and be like,
Yeah.
no, don't send out his kid.
Yeah.
I want to speak to the
The
manager.
real manager.
Like, it would kind of help because they would feel bad kind of like yelling at a kid. Like, if something was going on, they're like, "Look, I know it's not your fault," even though it would be. And I
Right.
was like, "Oh, God."
Would you start crying just like quiet?
His only defense mechanism. Just ball up and break down a
I
tear.
like the idea of this just blustering what looks to be like a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, who's this sumbitch?
best
you just
part.
come in guns blazing at every situation. They have to respect you because your volume is so much higher, but you look like you're in your dad's suit.
Exactly. That's the other thing. There's no suit that can fit me, of course.
Of course
It's
not.
Of course
very
not.
tough. You got that like specially fitted.
It's called a tailor.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to go to a tailor. Buy a
tough.
cheap suit, go to a tailor. Done.
There's
Spend
really
an
just
extra $100.
looking like David Byrne and stop making sense in those oversized suits. He's
Exactly.
like, "Here's the thing.
Just huge
Let me tell
shoulder
you something."
pads.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was a fun little phase.
They work
Yeah.
hard making the popcorn for you. Fuck off, sir. Fuck off. Oh my
Come
God.
on. That's great.
I love that.
I love everything about that.
Yeah.
We get his page boy outfit from tonight's show.
yeah.
Adams,
Yeah.
and we
Still
give
got
it to Cody.
Oh, that is all wrapped
Go
up.
relive both these glory days.
Yeah.
I love this idea. Anyway, we brought them on because we wanted to do this week. Wanted to do top 10 Harrison Ford
Harrison
movies.
Ford.
Is there? Why are
Yeah.
we doing this? Is there a Blade Runner, right? 2049 coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This weekend, and it's Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
It was easy. We showed you guys, like, hey, this is what we're thinking of doing. You're like, yeah, we're on board for Harrison Ford. How can you not be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The guy's a part of some of cinema's, most beloved franchises.
Yeah.
He's a gem.
Yeah,
He's a
and
gem.
at the eye of that, storm every time. Mm-hmm. And it's hard not to love Harrison Ford. There's a ton of movies to choose from.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing because sometimes you're like, I love that actor. And you go and look and you're like, shit, I like him a lot in bad movies. Whereas Ford
Exactly.
there's a ton. You
Yeah.
got so many to choose from. It's,
Yeah.
It's nice.
If you say so. I disagree. I had a tough time with this because when you step outside the franchises, Harrison does not have a lot of really good movies where he's the lead. He's had good movies where he's been in them, like Working Girl and these other movies, but or like what's the one with the conversation?
Oh, yes,
or
exactly.
Apocalypse Now,
for
right?
instance.
Yeah,
Those are all
yes,
good movies,
perfect
but
in
he's
that.
small parts in
Yeah,
it.
Sophie
But
Murphy, you
lead,
can't
you got
even
like
mention it.
Firewall and 6 Days and 7 Nights or whatever
okay,
that was.
so obviously those
Extreme
didn't make your
Measures.
list.
No, they did not.
Like Mosquito Coast. I like that
Right,
movie.
that's been mentioned
You
several
like that
times.
movie?
I like that movie.
Really? Okay.
I don't love it,
Right, right, right,
but it's Harrison Ford. I like
Yeah.
Harrison Ford,
Yeah.
so just like sure, I'll buy in this.
I remember that one came out at the same time as that Powers Booth one. And I forget what it was called. Like something to do with an emerald forest.
Shut up,
Emerald
really?
Forest. Emerald Forest, I think is what it's called.
Is it the same premise?
Kind of. They're in the jungle, and it's a dad who's brought his son out into this jungle, or he's trying to save his son who's been raised in the jungle. It's just a weird film, but it was around the
Tarzan,
same
what's going on
story.
here?
I think it was
Yeah,
called-
going back for Tarzan.
I think it's called the Emerald Coast. I think. But anyway, okay, so I always got those two confused. But anyway, yes. And regarding Henry, is we get shot and he has to lose his memory. And
It made my side list of I like that movie.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a fine film, and I don't want to get ahead of the list or anything like that.
Guys, we might
I'm
be
not
talking
trying to
about
do any
that.
of that.
Yeah.
All fine honorable mentions, but really, it gets limited.
I had maybe
So.
three honorable
That's
mentions.
weird. We've
outside
never
the
done that
franchise.
at the top of the show. Going, these are the ones that didn't make it. That is the first time ever.
Boys, I've done this show once or twice, and I know for a fact that is not.
We've never started the show. Go, you know what didn't make my list on this one? It's never fucking happened.
Well, maybe there's two people who are listening. Go, Mosquito Coast didn't make it. Fuck that. I'm not listening.
Somebody will. Somebody will.
It won't be thousands though. So thank God.
No.
You jerks.
Anyway, Matt, you want to tell them how the show works?
Yeah, so once we set a topic, everybody involved goes their separate ways and makes individual lists.
Here we
Now,
go.
when we do it with duos, it goes like this. They have their list and John and I have our list.
Right.
So the show setup is still the same. So once we show back up here, we do our bottom three, you do your bottom three, we do our next two, you do your next two. Then we trade one apiece. Once we've revealed our personal top 10 list, we create the shows between the two.
God damn it, you were so close.
I know.
God damn it.
I was
Almost
trying to
did it
think
clean.
of, someone gave me a great idea for where I stumbled.
Oh.
It's all right. It's self-critique.
Yeah.
Very good.
I say it every time,
Yeah.
and I stumble over one part in specific every time.
He's always in the 90 percentile, though.
Sure,
That
sure.
I always. That's
Baby
I
steps to
will
perfection.
every single time. It's always one or two.
Welcome
words.
to my neuroses. This is, we do this every week, whether or not we even want to. We talk about it like, God, we got to stop doing this. And then every week it's like I look up and he's like, hey! And I'm like, no.
I try to be encouraging
Every time.
I
It's
really
great.
do. I really do. But just in case anyone's scared that we're gonna have four separate lists, so 40 movies or four separate
No,
lists.
not happening. Two lists.
We combine like Matt. We had Matt and me combine our lists, and then Adam
and I.
and Cody combine their lists. So there's two lists that we're going to be comparing and counting down. So without further ado, do we go first usually, or do the guests go first? All right.
Wow. On guest
All
shows,
right.
we go first.
All right. Do you want to? Who do you want to start first, or do you want me to start?
Go for it.
All right. Our number 10 film between the top 10 show is Presumed Innocent. Where do you
on your list?
do you have that on your
Did
list?
not make the list.
I have not seen that. I'm off to a great start here.
What?
guys. I have not seen Presumed Innocent.
Yeah.
Wow.
No. can't
Well, I mean,
help
you
there.
know,
Oh, there's the door. I'll get going. Yeah.
it's not so egregious.
Yeah.
It's not so egregious. Don't worry.
Right.
Presumed
We're
innocent.
giving you time to basically do that. I don't know where that sentence was going. I literally just fell off the edge of a cliff, and I was like,
Just go.
Hey, we should be probably talking about the movie. I had like 7 thoughts. That's good radio, baby. That is good radio.
Right. When did this thing come out? When did this come out?
1990. You've had 27 years to watch this thing. Wow.
Yeah, but
I
dropping
wasn't
alive for
alive then.
what?
I wasn't alive then. Yeah.
I was
Like, that's my
25 of those.
excuse. Yeah. I'm I don't even know how old I am.
Whoa.
I looked at the watch.
Wait,
with
why
my
are you
watch.
looking at your watch?
I don't know what's going on.
think it's digital,
I
but it's
am.
just
I'm 25 years old. I'm 25. Yeah. So it was.
And
It was
Adam
out
just
before I was
turned.
born.
Adam just turned 32.
33, actually.
33, I'm sorry,
yeah,
33.
Yeah,
That's
starting to
Christ's
feel my
age.
age. That is Christ's age. Yeah.
Get ready for the crucifixion,
Get ready to
motherfucker.
die.
I feel like it's been that way for a
Great
long, long
factoid.
time. Yeah.
That is Christ's age. Thank you. I don't know what you say to that. Perfect.
Oh, crucifying.
There it
wow,
is.
thank you, Rocha.
No, you're
Jeez
welcome.
Louise. Yeah,
No,
that's
listen,
great.
this is a great film. Alan J. Pakula directed it. I remember this is a film that was like a big deal because it was one of these films that had a twist at the end, and you weren't supposed to tell anybody
alert.
about
Oh,
the
man.
twist. So we're not going to do the. We're going to try not to spoil movies.
I'm planning
No, I'm
on
good.
watching
I can
it.
see it.
I'm getting better at it. but-
Intentionally, yeah.
Right. Harrison Ford's in this with Brian Dennehy and Raul Julia, the late, great Raul Julia. Bonnie Bedelia plays his wife. Bonnie Bedelia, through the 80s, was a big actress that did a lot of things. And then you had Greta Scacchi, who was this like foreign actress who plays his mistress in this situation. He's a lawyer.
She plays everybody's mistress.
Yeah, well, true.
I think, I think she
gets
sleeps with
around.
like 3-4 people.
Yeah,
Really?
that's true. It's a
Yeah.
good point in the movie. You're right.
Yeah, sounds like my ex-girlfriend.
And so she,
Oh,
she ends up
It's a real piece of work.
Grab that thing early. I don't want to say what it is, but grab that thing early.
but she hits the she
Nah, just leave it, man. It's fine.
she gets killed,
get ready.
and it's a big deal. Like who killed her? And he, Harrison Ford gets like
He's like
accused.
assistant DA.
Yeah, he's assistant DA. He gets accused. So he has to defend himself, and the whole time you have to decide for yourself who is telling the truth, if he's
Nice.
telling the truth or
Nice.
not. And there were a number of these films, like Jagged Edge was like this. There were a number of films where lawyers
Yeah.
are accused of things they have to defend themselves around this time in the 80s and or early 90s, and this was one of the best ones. And it's one of the few dramatic turns by Harrison Ford where it's like actually has some weight to it and some
It
complexity.
does. The tenseness of the movie and whatnot, they maintain it well throughout.
Yeah.
So the whodunit kind of aspect, and it's a he said, kind of he said.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again, so you can't really piece together everything. And it keeps your attention. It's really fun, and it has a good payoff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's based on a book by Scott Turow. So, yeah. And when the twist happens, you lose
should
your
probably
mind.
check this movie out. Though.
Yeah,
So it sounds
it's
like a
really
fun
good,
time.
actually.
Oh,
Still
yeah, you
holds up.
sold him on it.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
Go
that's
picture.
good
Yeah,
stuff.
listen to that energy. That is palpable. That sounds like somebody's going to rush out and leave here tonight
think I'll be
and go
checking
watch
that
that
film
first
out.
thing.
I can't wait to see him present it to his fiance. Hey, honey, let's watch this film about this guy who cheats on his wife. And
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Leave.
Yeah, but she sleeps with everybody, so right? I mean, like I'm not the only guilty one here, huh?
It's getting hot in here.
Yeah, okay, all right. You're number 9?
Our number 9 is
Yes.
Patriot Games.
All right.
Where's that on your list?
Are we punting? What are we talking about?
Don't tell us the number. If we're punting,
We're not.
punting.
We're not punting.
It's
Oh,
actually
We're not punting.
We're not punting.
We're not.
You're not.
punting.
Okay, what do you got it
So
at?
it's
We got it at
Number 8.
8.
oh, okay.
Number 8.
Yeah, it's one
so
above
fine
Phil.
film.
Yeah,
So we'll
Jack
talk about
Ryan.
it now.
All right,
Yeah.
let's do
Fine
it.
film.
Yeah.
Patriot Game. So the role of Jack Ryan now has been played
Yeah.
by numerous people, but
Yeah.
it's what, a Wolf book based on the series, and he's a CIA agent, and he gets mixed up with the IRA, guys. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Here
it
we
happens.
go.
What do you
It
mean,
happens.
Wolf? You mean Thomas Clancy? Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy.
Sorry,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
curious about that too.
Yeah,
I thought there was some
Yeah.
sort of lingo that I wasn't hip to. You know, it's like, or it's
Oh,
not.
you don't know about that?
I know.
man.
Oh, that's writer speak.
Even
Bro,
I
can
knew
I get
that.
that?
That's his
Yeah.
spy name.
Yeah,
Wolf.
screwing up authors' names. That's what we're good at. There you go.
Nice.
That's not a Schmodown question, is it? God damn it. Anyway, yeah. So
But throughout, like Jack Ryan is such a great character. I love the Harrison Ford one. I love
Absolutely.
the Alec Baldwin as well. And I wonder what Harrison Ford would be like that, and vice versa on some level. But Patriot Games is probably my favorite of the two that he did. I don't know, just for some reason the action seems
Totally
more
agree.
real.
Yeah.
is that the IRA one?
It is with Sean
where they
Bean.
end up and they
Sean
go
Bean,
they
you
go
know?
after him in the country house at the end.
Right.
Oh,
And
it's so epic.
Yeah, it's just a small force on like a group of people and almost innocence.
Why did you guys put it so high at number 8?
High. It's on the list.
High for the
It's
bottom
on the
3.
list.
High for the bottom 3.
High.
Yeah.
Well, okay, fair
I'm
enough.
confused by your wording now. High at the bottom.
Love the series to start off with, and really, Harrison Ford is Jack Ryan. In my book, Alec Baldwin, fine, good, whatever. But it was those movies that said that Jack Ryan is a creature to be reckoned
spill
with.
that water in your lap, just so you know.
Don't you dare!
Yeah, just like a cat, paw that off.
Why would you do that?
You just besmirched the bald one.
Yeah, he loves the hunt. He loves the hunt.
It's awesome.
Okay, well, I'm not taking that away from you. Well, he was Jack Ryan in that too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'll be damned.
Yeah,
A lot of people play.
that's my favorite of the series.
Well, he's in a submarine the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Well, come on now.
Not the whole time.
Come on, Jack.
Come on. You
But
can't
certainly
be in a
out
submarine
there.
if you're
Save
Jack
the world
Ryan.
in other
You
places.
travel the world.
Yeah, but
Yes, exactly. He got into a submarine, a place he's never been to, and Jack Ryan the shit out of that situation.
He really
Guess
did.
what? We win. Think about that. That's like basically putting you on a spaceship. Because it's the same rough environment. As soon as you get outside of this, you're dead, and you know how to do everything, and you're just badass.
All right. Well, that's all very true, and that's a fine film. I'm not trying to take anything away from that.
I'm not saying Patriot Games is bad because of it. I'm just saying it's
Don't
an
attack our
excellent
guests.
film.
Don't attack our guests.
I know. I
do
feel
with
like I'm on my
Very
heels
offended
now.
right now.
Backing up, and I'm just trying to, hold.
I know. I
fight 'em
apologize.
off.
Kangaroo punching.
I got one nut.
Christ.
I have one nut. One note. It's a little
Matt,
both.
you want to
folks.
talk about this?
It's a little both. Actually, do we have the time, guys? Do we have the time? I got one note.
What about you, Cody? Why do you like it so much?
I haven't seen this in a while, but I remember having a lot of fun when I was a kid watching this movie, and I just like movies where Sean Bean is the bad guy.
And it's a hardcore movie, right? Because
very
like
much so,
people get
yeah.
blown up. And
The action
It's
is-
really traumatized as a child.
I'm sure. And this is around the time when the IRA was a big deal in the press,
Prominent.
like in the real world.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on there with the troubles in Northern Ireland, all that stuff that was going on there. And then
Fine
you had
accent.
Thank you. You had Richard Harris.
Working on that one, huh?
Yeah, a long time. Yeah, you had Richard Harris and then Sean Bean, and I forget who the actress is as well. I've
I
seen
can't
her
remember
in
either.
Archer.
Was it
Adam
not?
did his
Archer's
research.
wife.
She is
Yeah,
the wife,
who's the-
unfortunately.
young
Who's the British girl
Irish-
that's in there?
Thora Birch, you did not do your research.
not the small girl. Thora Birch is like
No, that's the daughter.
that's
No,
the daughter.
I'm
I'm
still
talking
missing
about
the
Ellen-
female IRA member.
Yeah.
But she's in the
Yeah.
mix too.
Oh, biscuit.
I can't remember.
Polly Walker. And Polly Walker was in Rome. She played the
Really?
mother of the young Irish girl in Rome.
Oh,
You
we've
have
been
no idea how
talking-
often this guy talks about Rome. He
I
brings it
love
up at
Rome.
least twice a day.
John Milius,
Yeah.
it's like, come on, this is amazing stuff. So
Yeah.
that's
She's
big
the
news
one
to
that
me.
plays the mom of the girl
I was
and the guy.
asking you to look that girl up.
Yeah.
I was like, no, she's in Rome. Who is she?
Don't turn on each other. Don't turn on each other.
You have your own list next
Yeah,
time.
trust me.
All right, what's our number 8 is Air Force One.
That's our number 7.
That's 7.
Wow.
We're doing pretty well, guys.
Perfect.
I love this movie.
Wow,
Pretty
I'm interested to see what their 10 and 9 are now, but
Yeah, we might have a punt situation.
yeah,
on
we
our
really
hands.
might.
I doubt it. I doubt it. Yeah, I don't know about that guy.
Yeah.
Air Force One, man. What can you say about this?
It encapsulates the 90s.
Right.
Man. Like 90s action movies, you know what I mean? Like it's fun. It's just a
Wolfgang
fun movie.
Peterson, I think, directed
It
this
was
one.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
really? I didn't
Exactly
know that.
right. You know, director of Das Boot, going back
Yes.
to the submarine movies. You know, it's just like
He does end up in the water in the movie, yeah.
Next week on Top 10 shows.
Spoiler alert on that one, in case you haven't caught it yet. But
20-some years later, maybe even 30 at this point. Go ahead.
there's just no safe space when it comes to spoilers, folks.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. Air Force One, though, I believe was like the kind of birthplace of Taken. You know, it's just it's that action that's a little family oriented, but it's really just kind of a no holds barred. I'm going to mess these people up because that is what survival takes, and I am willing to survive for my family and for my country.
Right,
And you know, that's how I took it.
Are you preparing
might
an
be a little
essay?
bit of
Yeah,
a
I
stretch.
salute that.
Wow.
Might have been a little
Entire
bit of a
speech.
stretch.
I every second of
nothing
that.
left to say.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating. Yeah, I was really getting on a roll there.
Maybe we should visit Chandler. Sounds like they make nice people.
Oh boy, yeah. Well, these days,
Lots
you
of
know.
opportunities.
Lots of opportunities.
Got an Olive Garden. It's got an Olive
Yeah,
Garden.
but the beauty of like Harrison Ford, what should be a cringeworthy line is the one that's is most
it's the
famous
best.
for.
Oh.
Yeah, get off my plane.
Get off my plane.
Anybody else says that, I laugh.
Kills it.
Like
Yeah.
openly, he says it. I'm like, yeah, get off his fucking plane.
Yeah, get on me.
Okay, sorry. Maybe I won't do this next time.
Hey, what are you doing here?
The great thing about Harrison is he has the ability to deliver these lines that are powerful yet vulnerable at the same time. That's such a rare gift. 'Cause
Absolutely.
he's not saying it in a very strong way, like "fuck you." He's saying it like he's so frustrated and frazzled by the fact that his family had all this shit and he was able to survive this whole thing, and he just goes, "Get off of my place!" Like it's not a place of like "fuck you." It's more like, "God, I survived this shit. Now get the fuck out of here." Like
Boom.
it's got more levels to it, which I really enjoy.
Well, because he also is ultimately the one that got them into this. If he
Yeah.
wasn't president, they
That's
wouldn't
true.
be in harm's way.
Great
so
true.
it's an affront on that level because he
that
always
responsibility.
promised to protect him. I'm sure at some point his wife's like, "There's a lot of danger that comes with this. You want to do this? We had kids, and you had to have that conversation."
Yeah.
It's Harrison Ford at his best.
At his best.
And this is Gary Oldman at a time when he was playing great villains.
Thank
Like
you.
he was doing what, Romeo is Bleeding, and then Romeo's Bleeding.
Hold on. I like the thank you. I think you're the only one standing up
about
for
that as well.
Oldman. Thank you. I'm out here in the cold by myself.
It's
just
his
screaming into the wind.
Where's the love for Oldman? Where?
He was doing what?
Come on,
Romeo's
Gary.
Bleeding. I think The Professional was a little bit around this
Professional was
time,
right around
and
that
so
time,
he,
for sure.
he was exploring playing these villains. That was really great. So to see him being in Air Force One, he does a great job. A Russian villain.
A Russian villain, for heaven's sake.
And then you have
He
what?
just
Glenn
kills the actors.
Close. You have Glenn Close as vice president.
Oh,
I think
my
Dean
God.
Stockwell's
Such
in this
power.
thing.
That's correct.
Yeah,
That's
so
correct.
There's a lot going on that was really fun to watch, and and it made a lot of money. I was surprised they never made a sequel to this. I was really surprised.
It was like the fun of Taken.
Yes.
And that's bringing it back to, it was
The
that
fun of your family
kind
being in
stuff.
danger. It's like the fun of that.
Exactly.
What is Air Force 2? You know what I mean? If despite they did a new sequel, like how did you do this?
If you could
is
do-
it Speed 2 and now they're on a boat this time
The
instead?
submarine, if you will.
If you could
I will. By the way, I will.
If you're asking,
if you could do Olympus Has Fallen, do London Has Fallen, you could absolutely do Air Force 2.
Yeah, but don't you think Olympus Fallen knew it was making Olympus Has Fallen?
Fair. Yes, I
very
think it did,
much
which is
so.
why I enjoy those films, because they know exactly
we
the
don't talk about
best
this
that
or
they are.
Transformers. I know it's
No,
your show.
stop
I'm just
it.
a guest here, but I don't care for that sort of
Fire
talk.
away, my
This
friend.
is my studio. My studio.
Fair. I will acquiesce. All right. What's y'all's number 10?
Okay, so to get real controversial,
Yeah,
real
we have
controversial,
to
right
point
at the top.
out. We have to point out that we argued when we were putting our list together. But the one thing that we agreed on was our number 10.
We had to make it the number 10
Absolutely.
regarding Henry.
Yes,
Regarding Henry.
Right?
Regarding Henry, the character arc, folks.
Showing
The
some range,
character
Harrison. Showing some range.
Why did you agree it had to be 10?
I don't know.
Because it couldn't be
both on
any
our
better
10.
than that. It couldn't be any better
we
than
thought
that.
it was
but
hilarious.
fine, you know.
Yeah.
Listen, we have our process. True. You create your own. So
They knew instinctively there were 9 better films than this one. They
You
knew
had to make the
instinctively,
list.
But this one belonged in at number 10.
I do that sometimes too. This
but we
one's
did
making
have
it
to-
here no matter what.
We had to omit one. We're not going to mention that until the very end.
Right,
but
right.
that was a pretty bitter thing that Cody and I were just struggling with the entire day long.
We should have recorded ourselves. We were working on this for 45 minutes.
We
Just
had
trying
our
to,
own top
We
10
were really
show
stressed out making
before
this
all
list,
this,
guys. It was
turned into the real top 10
We
show.
took it very
we did
seriously.
And we'll be releasing that as bonus content.
Yeah, that's behind the scenes.
right.
That's
Stay
right.
tuned,
Start a
folks.
Patreon.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
But yeah, regarding Henry, man, this was the first time I think that he tried doing something serious, with showing that much range, trying to get an Oscar. It didn't work, obviously.
No,
But
it didn't.
It was kind of bold. I don't know.
It was.
I like it.
What was
Cheesy.
it? I Am Sam. He didn't go a full I Am Sam. Or
go
what did
full
they say in
retard. He didn't go
Tropic
full
Thunder?
retard.
He didn't go
Yeah.
full retard on that.
Which
But he
I
did.
apologize for saying I'm saying quote from
I was trying to avoid those exact
Yeah,
words,
fair enough,
but he was afflicted. He was
Yeah.
a man that was damaged. And his approach to kind of finding himself over again, remaking himself, to a much better man that really discovered the true joy and nature of what life is. It was perfectly done on his part, and so it had to make the list for us.
Written by
For us.
J.J. Abrams, too.
Oh, wow.
J.J.
I did
Abrams,
not know
the
that.
screenwriter,
Really?
also the paper boy. He was the delivery boy in that movie. I
Great
shit you
role
not.
for him.
Yeah, wrote the script and just put a little thing in there for himself.
Are you envious because that would have been your role?
Probably.
Yeah.
I've
Take
got
that.
that right here, Jay. Yeah.
I wonder if they petitioned to kick him out as a paperboy.
I like this movie. It made my side list.
Yeah.
Sure.
Which of the when you're writing down the way that I do it, his childlike innocence is very believable in that film. So as he's discovering this, his daughter is teaching him, but she's also she's gotten a jaded perspective as she's grown up just a little bit, and he helps reconnect her to
Very much
life
so.
can be beautiful and innocent and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That's why I appreciate it. It's different.
Nice
It's a
story.
departure.
Yeah. Nice
Yeah,
message.
and I wouldn't be surprised if this is something they pitched to Tom Cruise, because this is around. I think this is around the '90s, and we're coming out as a country out of the '80s, all the me stuff that was the '80s, and we were having to look at ourselves in the '90s because of all the savings and loan scandals, all these things that were going on, the Keating Five, all the stuff that was going around this time. We had to kind of take a look at the way we had been in the '80s.
I don't
And
remember any of that.
Yeah,
obviously.
you guys
Yeah,
were probably
sick.
in
I was like
diapers.
nodding. I'm like, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I remember that.
The Keating Five.
But
We
I mean,
all
like,
get that.
yeah, definitely.
But this fit because this whole idea of looking back on this, because he's an asshole at the beginning of the meeting. He's
Very much so.
Oh, yeah.
He's horrible.
He's dismissive to Annette Bening, who plays his wife, and so he's a terrible father and a terrible husband because he's all about the
Professional
money.
as well. His job is
Right.
just, oh my God,
Yeah.
just stealing money from
Yes.
underprivileged people. How
Right.
dare you?
His morality
How
is
dare
in
you?
So everything's in question. Get involved in a robbery. gets shot in the head
by John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo, right?
shit,
right.
that
Oh,
was.
wow.
Yeah, that's all we could get back then.
Deep cuts.
Latinos. That's all we could get. But anyway, he loses he gets amnesia, and he has to learn how to put everything back together. And his family have to like re-accept him and believe him as this different person, and his workmates as well. And I forget who the actor is. Is it Bill Duke or the African American gentleman who's the nurse who nurses Radio Raheem from Do the Right Thing is the guy, the actor,
exactly,
and he
a great
nurses
actor
him
by the
back.
way.
Yeah, he passed away I think a year or two ago.
Really?
Yeah, and so he nurses him back and kind of guides him through it. And so the film is a very sweet film. If nothing,
It is
else.
sweet. It is
Exactly.
very much so.
Yeah.
Mike Nichols directed there.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense then. Yeah,
it does.
absolutely.
Yeah, he's known for that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, you got it? Did you pull it up? I
Is
saw
it
you.
Bill Nunn?
Bill Nunn. That's it. Bill Nunn. I always get him and Bill Duke confused.
And Bill
Duke's
Nye.
in-
Imagine that.
All those bills together. Yeah.
And let's not forget about Frank Dukes.
There we
either.
go, right,
So,
right, right. And Bill Joel. Wait, what? All right, let's move on.
So our number 9, guys.
What's your number
Cody,
9?
take it away.
Our number 9. Now this one might. I mean, I can easily see why you guys be like, "What?" Because this is more of a supporting role, but I think it's a pretty big supporting role. It's 42.
Oh,
Jackie
really?
Robinson movie.
Wow.
I thought he was fantastic in that movie. It's definitely like the best that he's done recently. I'll tell
All right,
you that much.
so you're giving him credit for his performance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
about the film itself?
Oh, I love the film.
Garbage.
You
Yeah.
do?
I
No, I don't.
Hold on now.
Oh, this is entirely Cody's pick?
It's entirely Cody's
Yeah.
pick.
fair
We put
enough.
it at
He's
number 9.
really, yeah. He's
You give a little, you take a little.
I
you know.
don't know. I really like this movie, and I really liked his performance in there. It just it didn't feel like Harrison Ford. It felt like he was actually the character of,
Right.
of Branch Rickey. And it was really great. Did you guys ever watch it? Or-
Yeah, I saw
Okay,
it in the theater.
Yeah.
It's a good
Shitty movie or what?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like I've seen that movie.
Sure.
Like it's a much better story than that, especially if you go back a little bit further with the Negro League
Yeah.
and how there's a great. I don't know if it was a made-for-TV or an HBO movie or something like that.
When it was a game or when
Yeah,
something
and they
like that.
explore
Yes.
a bunch of different, like how was it? Was it Satchel Paige?
Yep, Satchel Paige.
And the guy that was supposed to be better than Ruth as far as a hitter.
Yeah.
he was the one that had the drinking problem.
Yes.
African American?
Yeah, it was back
all
in the
it was
Negro League.
Yeah.
Oh, I got
And it's
you.
a really
Hank Aaron?
crazy.
Or- no.
No. Hank Aaron was way before Hank Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
great.
no.
I'm gonna step out of the baseball conversation. That's not my forte.
No, there's like 3 guys that were supposed to be much better than Jackie.
Gotcha.
But Jackie was, military. He had the credentials to where he was. It's hard to deny the fact that this guy is someone to be admired.
Definitely.
Right.
Whereas, if you stack him up next to me, I would take Jackie Robinson because I didn't serve in the military. I wasn't like this all-American guy compared to him. Like it's almost like Captain America. Like how are you going to do that
right.
on some level?
Now,
I think Blair Underwood in that TV movie
is, yes.
plays
He
Jackie
plays Jackie.
Robinson.
Really?
Right. And
Was it Delroy Lindo?
Delroy Lindo and
Delroy.
Kelsey
Satchel.
Williamson.
Hello.
Kelsey
Okay.
Williamson's in
Yeah.
that too. So the
That's
film
really good.
Reese?
Yeah, it's a fantastic HBO film, and it ends in a very heartbreaking way because
Kinda has to.
What happens is that Jackie, who's not as talented as the other guys,
He's young,
the
though.
one that's chosen because he's young and because he can deal. He doesn't have that
He can
built
take
up
it,
anger.
yeah.
Right. And you
Yeah.
see that in 42 as well. My friend Andre Holland played the newspaper reporter.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we went to college together. We're really good. He's the guy in the Nick.
Okay.
He just does a bunch of stuff now, but
Great
we went
show.
to college. He's a great
Which dude is he in
actor.
the Nick?
He's the Black Doctor.
no
Oh,
kidding.
okay.
Owen.
Sorry,
That's a
I
big
didn't
role.
know.
That's a very big role.
Yeah. So he's a fantastic actor. He's made his bones. So whenever I see him in a film, I'm happy. So I thought the film played it too safe. That was my problem with the film. But I liked what he did with Branch Rickey.
Yeah.
That's a difficult guy to bring to life because he's a gregarious, huge man. Edward Herman did him in the HBO movie we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Who was the dad in Gilmore Girls, the grandfather in Gilmore Girls.
Sure.
He played him. So
Sure.
That's Branch Rickey was a large man. So to see what Harrison did, I give respect to that.
Yeah, respect to you, Cody.
Oh
Well,
man, I get today with the bold choices.
Soul,
All right.
soul of the game. That's it. Soul of
Soul
the
of the
game.
game.
Yeah, soul of the
Never
game.
would have pulled that.
Yeah. Good thing it's a
I saw it
TV
on
movie.
HBO when I had HBO. And that's like years ago.
Josh Gibson. That's the other.
I need to watch that again.
That's what you're
Josh
thinking about. Josh Gibson.
Yeah.
What
know
That's
about
Josh
Josh
Gibson?
You don't know much about the
There's-
guy.
Was
Don't
there
know
a
much
third
about
guy
him.
they focused on? Because
Yeah.
there's one guy from the Negro League that Satchel Paige used to say about him. He was so fast he could get out of his bed, turn the light switch off, and before the lights turned off, he was back in bed under the covers.
Right.
You beat
right.
the
He's
speed
like,
of
that's
light.
how fast
That's
he
how
was.
fast
You're
he
like,
was. Yeah.
That's an
very
impressive
sleepy.
quote.
He wants to get to bed
Well,
very
fast. Listen, the guy's good.
In all respects of life.
Yeah, listen, he
Hey,
does
cheers to
things
that.
on his timetable. There's nothing wrong with that. He's ordered. He's all business.
Right on.
Yes,
so
sir.
it's what, our number 7?
Yeah, our number 7.
At number 7, we have Return of the Jedi.
Star Wars: Return of the Jedi.
actually didn't make our list.
It was a hard number 11, guys. It was controversial. I wanted it on. It was on my personal one.
Regarding Henry above.
You're damn right, we did, John. You're damn right.
42. 42.
Absolutely.
42.
Yeah.
Again, Cody's calling that.
Hold on.
His screen time is less than 42 minutes
Full
in that.
disclosure.
They will not let you do Jedi Council after this episode.
I'm never on that show anyway. All right,
fair
full
enough.
disclosure. Return of the Jedi was on my personal one.
Okay.
But we're collaborating here.
fair.
We're doing our own list.
Oh, yeah,
here.
it's a hard collaboration.
Yeah.
It's,
Like I said, it was very stressful.
The Sophie's choice between that and 42, and you're like,
I'm like, I
I gotta
put
take my baby 42. I got to. I love you, Jedi, but
all right.
my baby's coming with me.
But I love Return of the Jedi.
Anyway, right.
It's a fine film.
We had to decide between two of the remaining of installments to
Yes.
which one to put on it. We felt he was more prominently featured in this, so we wanted to give this a nod over the other one.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Plus, I think we as an audience had connected with him the most because he was the most likable. Not to say that the others weren't likable, but he had a charm to him that a lot of the other characters didn't.
Okay.
So he felt like your friend. And the overall arc, like he has so much fun. I love when he's coming over the ridge because he thinks he's got all the Imperial troopers.
Yeah.
And just the chutzpah, it's almost like a Pirates of Penzance. Kind of like, ha-ha! Fuck! And has to turn around just like, God, I love this character. Yeah. I love this guy. Like, I don't know, fly casual.
Yeah.
Just like, fly close, but not too close. I don't know. Fly casual, just like, it is a joke you would say in real life, like back and forth, like just fed up with the person.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Short-tempered and just all those, plus he pulls off all the action.
Yeah.
He's got a
He
great
just knows how
overall
to sell
storyline.
things so well. He just sells the lines,
good.
sells the action, sells the sweet moments and things like that. But bless Harrison Ford.
Yeah, when he has
Bless
that
him.
moment with Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher there against when she's about to shoot that stormtrooper that's standing behind him.
I love you
She was,
moment.
the reverse of the "I love you" moment there is so well done.
Yeah.
both of them so well done. And so that's why I wanted to put Jedi here because like I feel like we've lived with him for the two installments, and this is where he really obviously the second installment is fantastic, but in this one I think you just enjoy him more. He's doing more, he's got more going on. The whole beginning with jumping around and being blind and all that stuff that happens on Jabba the Hutt's palace and all that shit. So all of that is just fantastic to watch. So it's comedic moments that he didn't play in any of the other installments. So I'll enjoy that about them. So there we go.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
We already
Sorry
know
to make our list, guys.
Do we do our number 6?
We have not. Go for it.
All right. Our number 6 is a 1980s masterpiece, Witness.
We are
not punting.
Yeah,
We
we're
can
not
talk
punting.
about it.
We're
We
just
can talk
going
about it.
for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going for it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, let's discuss.
What is it?
What
What
number
is
do
it?
you have?
That is
5.
5.
Okay.
That's
Wow,
fine.
this is really interesting.
Yeah.
He really hasn't done that much work, guys.
No, let's be real.
Got 6 franchise movies and then some other things.
Yeah.
Throw in the fishbowl. Anyway, so this is a film that I personally. This is where I really like. I'd seen obviously Star Wars before and Empire Strikes Back. This is where I really got to see him as an actor,
Big time.
and you see the drama here because he's like dealing with in Amish stuff. Kelly McGillis coming out of Top Gun, so there was a lot. And then you have Danny Glover playing the villain, which is really interesting.
good.
And it's a harsh film. Like the beginning, the kid has to witness that death. And it's, back in the '80s, you'd get away with that being PG. That kind of
Was it a PG
violence.
film?
Yeah, it was a PG film.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a
PG-13.
PG film.
I'm on it. I'm on it, guys.
Let's take a look. I've been wrong.
Who's going to be
before.
faster? Who's going to be faster?
Yeah,
Let's
I'll have
watch
you
this.
look,
It's called like
because
a
I'm-
horse race.
Spielberg is the one that made PG-13.
Yeah,
thing,
full
right?
Gremlins.
You guys, this
And I was looking
this
for
is
that.
rated R.
It is
rated R?
This is rated
All
R,
right.
guys. Okay.
Well, I don't know. I don't know why I was in the theater.
Bring your kids.
We're talking about Witness, right? Yeah, it's rated R.
What year is The Witness? Is it before 88?
85.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how I was in the theater then.
Man.
I guess my parents took me.
Bring the kids to see Witness.
Well, I mean, it's really that's interesting because it is like because the violence is so real,
Very much
in
so.
that it's not the cartoonish usually in an action movie.
Exactly.
Like it's personal.
Yeah.
You can see the whites of the other person's eyes. Like it's all up close. So
Graphic,
the terror from that is, I guess, realer. But yeah, it seems.
It can scar you. I was a boy when I saw it.
Yeah, it's just they go to Amish country and then there's like that nice like love between the two that never really bubbles over the top.
Yeah.
It never doesn't go anywhere really outside of
Like
a
me and
couple
my
specific
ex-girlfriend.
scenes.
Well, you see, I think you see her.
That's a second girlfriend joke today.
You see, okay, yeah,
I
you
think
do see
her
topless
getting
or-
topless or getting undressed or something.
Yeah.
He catches her or whatever, and which is a romantic moment back in the '80s. It was romantic. Nowadays, people would say
Peeping
stalking.
Tom. Yeah,
But
exactly.
like
And
back
now
in the
it's
80s,
dirty.
we were more innocent back then.
Get a felony rap sheet.
I love it that it's back in ye olden times. The 80s. Just because this asshole wasn't even born doesn't make it that long ago.
I'm tearing you all apart. I'm sorry.
He'll get to this point when somebody's saying something about the 90s and it'll be like, it wasn't that long ago. He's like, oh, dude, it was 30 years. 30 years. Enjoy that day, by the
Thank
way.
you.
Trust me, I
I
was
would look forward
enjoying
to it.
today people throwing themselves off roofs that they were doing a reboot of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Yeah, bitches.
yeah.
Yeah, 90s bitches.
Yeah, that's happening.
Welcome to getting older. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's how it works.
That shit happens.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's
Viggo,
life.
Viggo Mortensen?
Yeah.
Vigo.
Wow, I totally forgot about
That was a
that.
Schmodown question.
Really?
Who was the Lord of the Rings actor that was in Witness?
That's right.
And I
Sure.
did multiple choice because I wasn't 100% sure.
Peter Jackson wasn't.
Well, he's not an actor in the movie.
No. In the we said Lord of the Rings, so that's the lead-in, and he had cameos in all his Lord of the Rings.
He does, really? Peter
Yeah.
Jackson does?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
either.
You didn't
well,
know
then I
Peter
stand
Jackson-
corrected.
Was he?
in every film he's put himself in. Oh
wow.
I know in Return of the King when the mercenaries
Balrog.
are on the ship.
Yeah.
For that one scene, he's right in the front in Two Towers. He's in the front, the opening scene, like eating a carrot.
Oh, shit.
It's all really
right.
quick.
All right.
Wow.
Fair.
fascinating.
Well, director puts himself in movies. Who'd ever heard of that before, right?
I swear to God, I'm not making this up.
No,
I can't
I know
believe
you're
like
not.
3 of you haven't heard.
I believe
just
you.
right over my head. I heard about Brett McKenzie. Brett McKenzie being one of the elves in Lord of the Rings.
Who's Brett McKenzie?
Yeah.
Brett McKenzie.
Flight of the Conchords?
Yeah, Flight of the Conchords. Jermaine. Brett McKenzie.
Right on.
Fantastic actor, but he
Right.
only has just like a fleeting moment.
How funny.
I don't
Didn't
know
even
what
notice that.
Yeah, I know. But
I
there's
can-
whole online petitions and things like that. Bring him back. We want to get his backstory and stuff like that. I have no interest in that myself.
But anyway, the film is really, and it also explores this whole idea of intolerance, irrelevant of race. It's about religious intolerance
Yeah.
because the Amish are made fun of when they go
Big
into
time.
town and they can't react. And this was like a lot of the main public's exposure to this idea of the Amish because unless you lived around that area, you
That's kinda true.
right? You wouldn't have known. And
Yeah.
we didn't have internet back then where you could look shit like this up. Like you'd have to go to a newspaper, go microfiche or some shit. Like you didn't understand. And seeing it portrayed in this film was really kind of an interesting way to go and introducing this kind of thing.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw, like, I can't remember if it was in a movie or like on TV, like on the news, and they're doing some topic about the Amish,
Yeah.
seeing a buggy
Butter tree.
with the hazard
yeah.
just sign just on the back of it.
Uh-huh.
You're like, I had never thought about that. Yeah, you would kind of, because you're going to be on the roads, so you need something reflective. Otherwise,
It's hazardous for those poor people. They're going 15 miles an hour on an interstate
let's
highway.
not call them
It's
poor people.
65. Yeah, well.
They made the choice. They saw all the amazing stuff that we have, and they're
like,
like,
nah.
well, you know what? I'm going to go back to churning butter at 4 in the morning.
Wait a minute. Some people are born into it. So
Yeah,
that's
what I was thinking,
you're
too.
allowed to
Born
leave
into
at like
the choice.
18 to
You
go out
are.
and
That's true.
explore the
That's
world
true.
and then come back.
But it
The
can
world's
be
too
scary.
big. Yeah, it's horrible.
Of course it can. When you grew up
miserable
and that's
out
all you know, and then you show up and the rest
Right.
of us are on our phones nonstop and there's tons of cars and there's whatever else.
It's like The Village.
Yeah, fine film as well.
Yeah,
Kind of like that.
yeah.
All right, that was our bottom 5. So what's your number 7?
Number 7
We
was...
did. We already mentioned
Oh, we did
that
it. Oh,
one.
sorry. What's
Yes,
your
indeed.
number
was
6?
Air Force One. Number 6 is The Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. That's Empire.
We are punting.
Whoa! First punt of the game.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about it being
Wow.
at 6 either, guys. Yeah.
6?
So that means it was lower on yours.
Yeah.
I will throw my scornful looks your way, Adam.
No, it was very high on mine. It was.
That was,
It was.
pretty decently high on mine, but yeah.
Apparently not. 6.
We got to go back. We got to roll the
It's on
tape.
6.
We got to go back to this
It's on
behind
6.
the scenes thing. Okay, it's on 6 now.
I'm not going to
I already-
let you TD any of Jedi Council after this. This is ridiculous.
I just
good
say we
luck
go
to
ahead
them.
and validate their list and do the rest of the show between the two of them.
If that works for you guys,
'Cause that
I
is
have
an
a place to be.
egregious sin.
Yeah, I'll
That is an
be gone.
egregious sin.
People are throwing their cell phones at the wall right now.
Yeah.
So The Empire Strikes Back
Guys
is better than 42. Let's
commit
establish
Harry
that. Okay, it's still better than 42.
That was a conscientious effort to make it better than 42.
Exactly.
2 better than 42. Say it out loud 10 times, and I think a psychologist will appear and declare you mentally unstable. It's like Candyman for the mental health industry. Go ahead.
I think this is an amazing movie. I think it's the best.
Well, we're saving it.
we're gonna
It's a
save it.
punt.
because we
fuck.
punt.
How
That's
fucking
right.
dare
My
you?
bad.
You've
I'm
seen
sorry.
this show
No,
I'm sorry.
live.
Guys, there wasn't the punt graphic. I'm sorry. I need the punt term to be explained to
Leave it
me.
alone. You were
It's an
squibbing the
American
punt.
football
Thought
term.
you were
Okay.
trying-
Okay.
Before you, my wife saw maybe 75 seconds total of us ever doing it. You guys are the only ones who sat
understood the
live consistently, and you just fucked that up.
I'm sorry, guys.
I would like
That
to
is
mention
impressive.
something right now, though.
Yeah.
The punt was not really talked about in the intro to the entire thing here.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
you always say, for all you non-Americans
Oh.
out there,
Yeah.
this is an American
No,
football
when we were
program.
audio,
doing it.
we never did it.
We never did audio.
Just pick it up because everybody else is like, it's pretty obvious. You just listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just move on to the next thing.
We made it a bit on the video
guys.
show because we wanted to do a little bit about it.
I don't know. Try and take advantage of the. Hey, we're on video now.
Yeah, the video.
Right.
Yeah.
And with those sweet, punt graphics and the little whistle blow.
Why do I get the
That
feeling
was
you
all
made
Adam.
that?
That was all
I
Adam. That was
didn't actually
absolutely
make
all
that
Adam.
graphic, but I had to bring in that graphic and find like random sounds, game sounds. So yes, it took time.
The whistle.
Deafened people the first week.
You did mention that, and so I had to turn it down.
Well, no,
That
people
was
on
me.
YouTube. That
Yeah.
wasn't me. That was people on YouTube going, "Oh my god!"
You just relayed it to me in a very forceful manner. That's all. That's
I don't
all.
remember like that. I remember being loving and gentle,
It's true. Very
as is
caring.
my nature.
Oh God.
Okay.
That's the first thing they say. Loving.
So
Exactly.
So
Isn't
we're-
it? It's the first adjective you choose. Is it
It's
not?
true. It's
Loving.
True. Do we do now? We move on to our 5 then. Mm-hmm. All right. So
Okay.
our number 5. That's yours, right? You're saying that. That's right.
Yeah. Oh, 5 is me. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about rehashing
No.
what we just went over.
No worries.
5 is The Fugitive. Gentlemen?
Yeah, that didn't make the list.
Shut the fuck So 42 is better than The Fugitive because
I told Cody.
Seriously?
I told Cody.
Your lists are invalid.
I know.
Cody,
I know.
The Fugitive has got to be
In
on
my
this list
defense,
somewhere.
in my
And I was
defense,
like,
I saw this once when I was young, and I haven't really. I know it's great. I know it's a great movie. Okay, guys, I know, but it's been a while, so I couldn't
Matt,
really
we've made
talk
a
about
grave
it.
mistake.
Adam's not
I'm
pulled
not a
out
part of
a
this.
bottle of alcohol to deal with this decision
just a
here
touch
today.
of wine.
I'm sorry. I'm ashamed of myself, and I'm not proud of what I've done today here, guys. I'm sorry.
It is a
I'm
fantastic
dumbfounded.
film.
Yeah,
it is a
literally
fantastic
It's a good
film.
movie. I'm sorry.
It's on my list.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now.
Oh, we're gonna play that card again. Okay. All right.
You guys are doing this back and forth.
Oh,
This is madness. I love this. This is
guys,
lunacy.
we're on polar opposites when we
We're
made a
young
list.
kids.
Okay, we had
We're
to
young kids. We
compromise.
just don't get it.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, guys.
I don't think The Fugitive was on your list, actually.
You know those
I think you
glasses-
discovered after the fact. Yeah, you're not innocent here.
No, but I tried to bring it into the
No,
list.
they
I
both
tried to bring it
didn't.
in.
It was not on your list.
Wow.
So talk about The Fugitive, guys. Let's
don't-
talk about this great
Oh,
movie,
Dennis.
this
Great.
wonderful movie.
What a fantastic action film.
Almost as good as 42.
remake of
Tommy
the
Lee.
60s or 50s TV series.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Something I didn't know about until the movie was coming out. I was like, oh, there's a TV show.
Yep.
Okay. I had no idea because they didn't do 50s reruns of serialized, let's catch a one-armed man show.
Yeah.
I don't remember that when I was a kid.
No internet at that time. So
Just
you had no
Gunsmoke.
idea of the back catalog.
Yeah.
You know? It was just there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember my parents telling me about it because I didn't watch it either growing up, and
Yeah.
so it was them talking about a one-armed man. One-armed man was a big deal, and they turned this into a movie, and it's actually a really well-done movie, directed by Andrew Davis, who did Under Siege. Tommy Lee Jones, ironically, in that, who was in the Under Siege as well. He played. This was the one that exploded Tommy Lee Jones into
Without a doubt.
right into the pop culture
It
mainstream.
did.
Yeah,
Because
right.
this movie was so huge
Yeah.
that he went from a guy that you saw that you liked in a bunch of different stuff to that's Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
He had a name, but whereas before it's I know that guy.
Yeah.
Like some people would have known, but without the internet, you'd need to see that top billing quite a bit. And this thing was just between the two of them, But the amount of tension and intrigue, the force with which like the scenes go through at certain times because
Yep.
it's always mano a mano.
Yep.
He's never taken on a huge force. He's always
yeah.
just trying to evade. Like forces are like either it's Tommy Lee Jones, closing in on him, or he's getting closer and closer to catching the one-armed man. So
Yeah.
it's just nonstop pace. It's so good.
Yeah.
See if you can follow this right now. See if I'm right or wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Buckle up,
Please,
guys.
do
Let's
tell
do
me
this.
if
I'm
I'm wrong.
so scared. Yeah,
Minority Report.
yeah, good film.
Do you see any,
similarities?
Similarities.
Yeah, but the Minority Report was 10 years later.
Of course it is, and that's my point.
But the
You know,
story
it's
that
like
Minority Report was
Spielberg,
based on, though,
Cruise,
came out way
they
before
picked
this.
up the whole thing. They picked up the whole thing,
Oh.
essentially from, just how the plot plays out.
I guess, but he's not missing but the villain's not missing an arm or anything. The villain is a twist at the end of the movie, as opposed to someone who you've been seeing throughout the entire film as a possible villain.
Yeah, I understand what he means.
Yeah.
Because it is just basically one guy's trying to catch another guy. And
God, is it
Right.
that simple?
Oh, I
is
see
that
what
the
you're
only
saying.
thing that I brought to the table?
No,
here?
like someone's
No,
being
no.
like wrongfully accused as he's trying to find the actual person
Boom.
that's responsible.
That's it.
While another person's
Yeah,
tracking him down.
but
Wrongfully accused.
Yeah.
Find
Yeah.
the man. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I love this movie.
I'm
It's
gonna
great.
find a bunch of 1940s DVDs and I'm gonna throw them on your desk, and you're
I
gonna
would
watch
love
all that
that.
and know
I
that
would
this has
absolutely
been
love that.
happening for decades in the film.
Exactly.
that's
And
fine.
I'm not undercutting your point. The best ideas are the simplest. Now you
Exactly.
can make complex, simple ideas, but you don't want to convolute
Yeah.
the central idea. Just like let's get to that, and then we can
Right.
build around that.
Right.
So what you're pointing out is yes, it is it's a taut thriller based on this style, and it's excellent at it.
Exactly, and excellent at it. I think is really what brings it up to that bar, and makes
Of
me,
not making your list.
Yeah.
That
Why do you hate this movie? Adam, why do you hate this movie so much? I mean, I wanted to put it on there, honestly.
I haven't even seen 42.
I love this. This is great. We've made such great choice here. But anyway,
so sorry.
Such fantastic actors are thrown through this. You've got Joey Pantoliano. You've got Daniel Roebuck, who I personally love since he did Jay Leno in the Night Shift, or the Last Shift, whatever it's called.
Gotcha.
The Late Shift.
Yeah, the Late Shift, the HBO movie they did of him and David Letterman.
Yeah.
Letterman.
See, Cody, David Letterman used to be on NBC.
I've seen that film.
Oh, you have?
Late that's what it is, right? Late
Yeah,
Shift?
the Late Shift.
Yeah.
I think so,
It's
yeah.
really good. The HBO movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
He's
great.
a very knowledgeable
Based on the
man.
Yeah,
though,
I
you
just-
know?
you know.
just
Yeah.
I like
Now when
42
it
a
comes
lot,
to
guys.
excellent film.
Yeah.
Just a blind
Right.
spot with Harrison Ford.
Yeah. One of the most beloved actors of all time.
Sorry, guys.
So
I'm
beloved.
sorry.
But it was
So
brilliant
beloved.
casting too, because if you're going to make a film like this, you're going to pick someone like Tommy Lee Jones, who's really going to be the hero of the film, kind of the co-hero of the film, right?
time.
You got to be able to
Yeah.
cast in the correctly against Harrison Ford, because the audience is automatically going to go to Harrison Ford and follow him in whatever he's doing, right? So you got to cast the right actor that's going to be able to take just as much of the weight away from Harrison, and Tommy Lee does that in such an incredible way. And the action sequences, that train sequence at the beginning with the bus, is amazing.
Yeah.
Right?
Jumping up
That's fun.
the water
yes.
spillway tunnel,
Yes.
even though you can so clearly tell it's a dummy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like one of the worst dummy shots that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Just dolphin dives, dead armed into the. Okay.
Oh, just look it up on YouTube, folks. It is hysterically bad how bad this
I will
dummy
give you
is.
that.
But,
Right.
it was a great movie.
Yeah.
It was a great movie, and it deserves to be on the list.
And I
Absolutely.
think Celia Ward was his wife, and so he's trying to go after her. And I love the lines. I mean, that whole I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't
Those
care.
are iconic.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's why you like Tommy Lee, because you can side with him. Like, he's just following the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not doing I'm the cop, I'm going to break every rule to get you.
Right.
I'm playing by the rules, as governed by what we all agreed upon.
Yeah.
So he's still likable in that. Like, you don't want him to catch him, but you understand
Right.
why he's doing it, so you don't fault him for it.
And when the turn happens in the movie, you're like super excited that they're
Hell yeah.
when the turn happens.
It's
God,
earned.
it's so good.
It's completely
God,
earned.
It's so good. Yeah, really fantastic.
All right, what's your do we go to do your number 5? What's your number
Our
5?
five. Oh wait.
Yes. Yeah, we did number 5.
Was
Okay.
Witness. Yeah.
Okay, what's your number 4? God,
Or no, we do our 4 then.
we do our 4 first.
Yeah. Let's
That's
let
right.
you
Oh,
guys
sorry.
do
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see if it made their list.
be
So, well,
flooded
we're gonna
here.
get shit for this. I know. Our number 4 is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Hey.
That's our number 4.
Salute to you, sir.
Yeah.
Whoa. Let's get yelled at together, guys.
I feel even
All right.
worse now for putting it at 4 because they validated us putting it at 4.
Us idiots here. Yeah.
Fuck. I don't want to agree with your argument, but it's kind of hard to not agree with
yeah.
your argument.
God
I know.
damn it! We're gonna get killed.
Yeah,
We're
'cause
turning
between-
this off right
Yeah.
now.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
You guys take this one
Fucking
since we
Indiana
started
Jones,
with Witness.
man.
Yeah.
Cody,
Kick
lead
things
it off.
off. It's great. It's Harrison's most iconic role. I think it's just fantastic. Adam.
Let off the series. Let off the series. I was very young at the time. I was -3, to be honest. And the first time I saw it was like when I was like about 6 or 7, somewhere in that zone. Karen Allen, I remember,
Oh, yeah.
kind of falling in love with the character.
Vibing on?
Yeah, and as a 6 or 7-year-old, it's a little young for all those,
The
man
feelings.
emotions
Right,
and things
right.
like that.
We
But
didn't really have man emotions,
oh, yeah, well, you just
Wow, really?
Yeah,
That was a guttural.
Whoa.
You just readjusted in your seat a little.
He's an
as well
early
there.
bloomer.
Yeah.
Early bloomer.
Yeah.
There's not much to do with Chandler,
6 or
son.
7.
There's not much to do with Chandler.
That's all true. That's all very true. But it was a fun movie. It
Yeah.
was a very fun movie. Spielberg, he's just a genius, just on every level. Combining him with Harrison Ford, who can also, really just hit the notes every time that they need to. It's a well orchestrated, just event that happens every single time that they come together.
Yeah.
Fun.
The effects and the action
fun.
sequences absolutely still hold up.
I love the punch because it has
yeah.
that over the top Foley. Just whoosh,
Yep.
and it's an Indiana Jones so much so that when Crystal Skull came out, I literally left the theater to go out and be like, his punches aren't loud enough. You need to turn it up. And the guy was like, okay, and went up and turned it up. But maybe he knew, or maybe just a young kid going, whatever.
It was me. I was in the suit.
Were you?
Crank it.
I remember
It
that
was a
day.
Regal
I was
theater.
Very scared. Yeah.
But it's just that, just like the simplicity of that, all the choices, the cinematography, the fact that he did a bunch of the stunts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And looking back, that Tom Selleck was first offered the role.
Right.
Tom Selleck.
Can you imagine? Oh.
No. That's the thing. No.
Tom must be so. I mean, like, honestly.
Couldn't get out from his Magnum
Lost his
PI
fortune.
shooting schedule.
Right. Back then, TV shows were like, you don't go do films. Like, they were very, like, hardcore. But that's why
Big time.
Pierce Brosnan couldn't be James Bond when his term came because Remington Steele wouldn't let him out of his contract to go do James Bond back in the 80s and early 90s. So that
was a bitter
it was
feud
insane
between
how it
those
was
industries.
back then.
Yeah, you know, it's like now we're just creating content,
Yeah.
man. You know, it's like let's just have a nice time.
People doing
You know?
everything now.
Yeah, commercials, you know,
Right.
television, movies.
You know
Get
what-
out there.
You know what's great about the film too is that it has these violent comedic moments that work. Like he was shooting the guy with the sword,
Oh, yeah.
the
One of the
Nazi dude
best
getting
scenes
cut
ever.
up by the propeller,
Yeah.
the Nazis like getting their faces melted off at the end, and then scarring their hands with the amulet. All this stuff that happens in the film. What's wrong with you?
Well,
What's wrong,
this
Adam?
is not Last Crusade stuff that we're talking about, right?
Right.
No.
Did you see Raiders of the Lost
Adam,
Ark?
no.
I did.
Adam.
I
You do know the
did.
Nazis'
All right, everyone
faces
yell at
melt at
him
the
now.
end.
Okay.
Excuse me. I understand
Okay.
everything now.
Holy
I
shit.
was.
He fights Nazis twice.
It was
Yeah.
the melting of the faces that
Yeah.
really got me. I
Yeah,
was just like,
that's in the end of Raiders of the
those,
Lost
are,
Ark.
was
those are
indeed.
Nazis.
Again, I was 7 years old.
Yeah, okay, fair, but
so
you've seen
please,
it since.
please be
He was doing a
mindful.
lot of
See,
motions
I
at the
saw
time,
it when
guys.
it came out at 6 or 7.
Right.
Yeah.
And I made it through. I had no rumbling in my pants, say.
1,000 pardons. 1,000 pardons.
Oh, Ravenwood. There's so much there. Yeah.
All that when I was a kid in the theater, when I walked out, Indiana Jones became my hero.
Yeah.
Big time.
And he was everything. There was one kid on my street that actually had an Indiana Jones action figure. He had a couple different ones, but he had Indy, and I was so envious. I had all the G.I. Joes. I had all the Transformers and Hulk, those maybe toys you never played with, but
Well,
they
you know.
exist.
He doesn't understand
I'm
those.
aware of them.
Yeah.
Only
all that.
digitally. He's playing with them
Toys.
digitally.
Yeah.
Only
He was,
digitally.
he was the same guy that also had like the
Yeah.
random
Yeah.
Marvel or DC. Like,
Yes.
oh, dude, you got a Batman? Where'd you
Yeah.
find a Batman?
Yeah.
I can't even find one.
Right.
But all that, like walking out of that, Indiana Jones was someone that I could be.
Sure.
He was a college professor turned badass archaeologist,
Right.
which is a natural career path for anybody.
For Matt
Yeah.
Knost, especially.
Well, at 6 years old, because I think the year before I wanted to be a ninja, and a year after that I wanted to be a paleontologist. Like I was all around.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Schizophrenic. But yeah, just he captured a part of my imagination and childhood in that film. That coupled with other things, obviously, but to have, God damn, I love Indiana Jones.
Yeah, and what's great about Harrison is that kind of action hero that you can connect to, like you said, man.
Yeah.
You feel you can be him, and because he gets his ass kicked in all these movies.
I love
and
that.
it never loses. He never loses his power or his like. It never costs him his love with the audience.
No.
Never. They never think he's lesser than. They never think he's like not able to do the job.
Fighting a good fight.
Yeah, he's fighting a good fight.
Fighting
And
a good
like,
fight.
when that big
Yeah.
Nazi dude is kicking his ass, he's just like he's got no
gets
option.
lucky.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
gets lucky. Basically.
gets lucky.
And that's the thing. By the way, that punches, the way they did the punches in the Foley, I was watching the behind the scenes. The guy went to a clothing store
Yeah.
and took a bat and hit a stack of leather jackets. And that's how he creates that
Really?
sound. Yes.
Okay.
How did
It's
he
a
come up with
bat-
the idea for that?
I
Is
don't
he
know,
like
'cause
walking out with a baseball bat trying to find
Foley
something to
guys
hit?
are weird. They always have these
Yeah.
ideas in there.
You
It's
say
like
a
chefs.
stack. I mean, like,
Yeah.
how many leather jackets does this man invest into?
don't know.
I mean,
Well,
He
He
might have
do the
like
job.
been in a clothing store and hit it with his hand, and
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh, yeah.
Holy
That's it.
shit.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's interesting.
Yes.
It's just
And
bringing
then
a bat
contact
through
to
the
it.
entire.
And that's
like,
your job. Like I saw behind the scenes on the sound engineering for Phantom Menace
Sure.
after it came out, and like how they
Fine
did the
film.
lightsabers. And part of it's a combined sound, but part of it is the high tension wire, the twisted steel cable that they use to
Oh.
secure like electrical poles and
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
If you hit it with another metal object, it just
Yeah.
gives off that. And now when you do it, you hear it instantly.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's a Star Wars sound. I mean, it's that coupled. They layered it with other things, but you're like, yeah, that's kind of the meat of that sound.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time.
All right, so that was our number 4. Is that your number 4 too?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Raiders.
Yes.
Is.
So then, do we jump to our number 3?
Yeah, 3 was
Okay.
the punt from you earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that again,
Am I
guys.
reading through?
Regarding Henry? No? Oh, okay.
Cody.
Oh, you had
All right.
Raiders. I'll do 3.
Okay.
Which is Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
It's, you guys are so mad. You're like,
I mean,
yeah, let's talk about it.
Go
Cody.
ahead.
On my
Yeah.
personal list, that's number 2. So
yeah, I'm
I
trying
think
not
it might
to
have been on
storm
mine
out.
as well, yeah.
I'm trying not to
Say.
storm out right now.
Yeah.
Adam had it
I
knocked out.
want to say, I honestly
Here's the thing.
This is
Well,
fascinating.
We'll
episode.
discuss that when we get to our future picks.
Sure,
In the
sure.
meanwhile, Well, we've already discussed Empire, haven't we?
No, we haven't. I got yelled at when I started to.
That's the punt. Once
Yeah.
again, you're the only 2 live members.
Yeah, we should probably.
Anyway, back to you, sir.
I think this is like it's the best arc for Han Solo out of the movies he's in. You know, it just how he starts out as this arrogant asshole and then he ends up, spoiler alert, getting frozen. You think he's going to die. It's
Yes.
like a really heroic sacrifice.
Yes.
It's really just it's great work on his part, I think.
Yeah, and with his the
Star
smugness
Wars.
and the confidence of his character kind
Yeah.
of deal, it's kind of great to see him end up in a block of frozen. What's the word?
Carbonite.
Carbonite.
Yeah.
Thank you. Carbonite. Yeah.
And what's great about
Sorry, Cody.
Empire Strikes Back and the relationship between him and Leia in this film, it's a screwball comedy. Their storyline is a screwball comedy that echoes like the 40s and 50s stuff with Clark Gable, with Myrna Loy, with all these type of actors and actresses that were in these kind of screwball comedies. Bringing Up Baby, the Philadelphia Story, these kinds of films that are that way. It goes back to that. And, because Spielberg and Lucas both grew up with this idea of those old films, and that's what motivates them to do Indiana Jones. And Lucas throws this into this storyline between Leia and Harrison. But also, you got to give Carrie Fisher a lot of credit because she went back in and kind of redid some of the lines to make it work and act. And Harrison said that, like, reading Lucas's dialogues, like reading, is so wooden. You have to kind of bring it to life on your own.
As borne out.
Yes,
later
in
on.
the prequels. Yeah, absolutely.
Just the utter lack of any chemistry between Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman.
So hard to see those things,
man.
And Natalie Portman's a fantastic actress.
I like Hayden.
How to do that.
Yeah.
Hayden's not terrible.
No, Hayden and I would fist fight in the parking lot. If I had my druthers, fist fight in the parking lot.
Did he do something to you, or what happened?
He destroyed the prequel.
Oh, fair enough.
Anyone with me on this?
Wow.
See,
I-
nobody here.
I think the blame lies with Lucas.
Yeah.
Because
I
he's
know it
having them
definitely does.
act in a room this size and it's all green.
Yeah.
And how do you get any kind of warm performance when
Right.
you're inside Kermit's asshole?
Right.
Like it's impossible.
Ewan
Well, I'm
McGregor
just saying,
did
like, okay, so you're on this thing now.
Yeah.
They're just you've seen all the behind. It's green everywhere, and they're just doing random physical motions. And you're like,
true.
It's going to be wooden.
Oh, I hated him so much.
He was.
I hated him so
But
much.
he's great in Shattered Glass. I actually watched that again maybe a week or two ago. Watched an hour of it. It's
Really?
a really good movie, and he is great as Stephen Glass.
I don't
He's
mind
got
him in
chops.
Jumper.
Oh, Jumper, right?
Yeah.
Not bad in Jumper.
It's okay.
Hey, it's fine.
Yeah.
Was it a
Serviceable.
Bruckheimer thing? What is this? What is
I don't think it's a
Jumper?
Bruckheimer.
No, it was a Bruckheimer production.
Was it
I
really?
think. I want to
Okay.
say he produced
Garbage.
it. No, maybe not.
Produced, perhaps, but not directed.
No,
Yeah, of
exactly.
course not.
There you go.
Exactly. That's
you
where
go.
I'm
that
sitting.
somehow makes it better.
No, far worse. No, I don't like that movie. I've watched 5 minutes of that movie.
not great.
And I mean, Hayden has never done anything for me. And really, the first taste in my mouth was
Harris.
through the prequels and things
Oh,
like
right.
that.
Oh, fair enough.
And it was
Yeah, of
god
course.
awful. It was god awful.
Oh, wow,
so
yeah.
bringing it back
Well,
down.
and
to
also in Empire, like you have these moments with him with the carbonite, like the way he reacts to it all. Like,
Yeah.
it was improv. That line, I know that was improv when he says, "I love you, I know," and all that. But like his reactions to being at Cloud City with Lando, and then Lando turning on him. I don't know what system that's in Cloud City. I refuse to say the
Well,
system.
you
that
can-
the fucking planet that's fucking on.
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
You can totally tell the type of relationship they have right when he shows up with Leia and
Yes.
Lando
Yeah.
tries to swing in. So it's utter disregard for you. Yeah, we're friends until anything I want that you have and I
Yeah.
can get.
Yeah.
And you're like, I only trust you is when I can see you. It's the
Yeah.
only time I can trust you.
Oh yeah.
And it's a great. Both actors are all actors, and
Mm-hmm.
that gave great performances. Could not say that for the life.
It's okay. It happens. We've all had that moment here today. We've all had one. Just like
Yeah,
that.
but it's nonstop
probably.
within that movie.
Yeah.
When he goes back out for Luke.
Yeah.
Like, I'll see you in hell.
Yeah, yeah.
Hell, but at the same time, like, I buy that for that character and that character alone.
Yeah.
Just all the little moments that he has in that. It's one of his best movies, gentlemen.
No doubt about it.
One
Great.
of his best.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
Definitely in his top 10, am I saying?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well done. Yeah, we're stacked. Our list is stacked.
Oh, man.
Our top
Clearly.
3 is stacked.
Stacked with choices no rational person would ever make. Anyway, what do you got at number 3?
We'll see the story on that one right now.
this
Blade Runner.
Oh,
How about that?
That's
You
our
crazy
number 3.
kid.
That's our number 2.
That's our number 2.
Okay.
Of course.
All right, we're not
That's
too far off there.
fantastic.
yeah.
It's so good. 1982. What's it, Decker?
Decker,
Decker,
Rick
yeah.
Deckard, yeah.
Dick Decker. Dick Deck.
Nobody calls him Dick Decker. Nobody calls him
Everybody called him Dick Deck. That's the thing. He had an Atari game. They tried to tie it all in. Dick Deck did not take off. It's in the landfill with the ET
So
games.
should have, man.
That's what they all said. Called him behind his back, Dick Deck. Oh,
Dick
fuck,
Deck.
Dick Deck's coming up.
There he goes.
Mr. Self-involved.
Yeah, and it was. What a beautiful film noir brought into futuristic times kind of deal. Ridley Scott really helming that thing, creating just this unreal world that only people in the walled city had ever seen. God rest its soul. That poor demolished place now.
Yeah.
Loved it. Loved the stories that the antagonist had to tell. Loved the heart of the protagonist. Hard,
Great
dark
ending, too.
world.
Love the ending
Hard,
of it,
dark
yeah.
world.
Yeah.
And the ending. I swear. Rutger Hauer just nails that.
Crushes that line.
Nails that.
The Tears in the Rain is supposed to be like an improv line.
Yeah.
He just
Really?
threw that in.
Everything's freaking improv. Oh, man.
Kills me. That movie just bowls me over every time I watch it.
It's my favorite.
Yeah.
I'll say that now. I know it's number 2 on our list because the way Matt and I put the list together, Crusade. Whatever.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, who's gonna? If people know us, they know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a surprise, but it's the reason
They know my feelings.
I had to acquiesce in this a little bit, but it is my favorite. Blade Runner is my favorite, which is why I'm looking forward to Blade Runner 2049 so much. This is my favorite role he's ever played, even more than Han Solo. I just think I love noirs. Growing up as a lover of old films, I love noirs. This done sci-fi, and this film holds up from 1982 better than some sci-fi films from today. And that's what's so amazing. The look, the futuristic look that Ridley was able to do in this film, and also his performance and the music, the score, the songs that are in there. Yeah, the relationship with Sean Young, with the character of Rachel.
So hot.
Breaks your fucking heart. And he's a bit rough with her at times, but that was noir shit. That's a thing in noir, That's how guys were. It's how guys were in noir films. They were a bit rough at times when the women were harder back then. So you see that all, and then you throw this storyline of Rutger Hauer, which is humanity confronting its creator. What was the purpose of me? Who am I? Why did you create me? And why did you create me with a life termination? Like I will die at some point, and this is something all of us come to terms with at times. Like why was I created? Why am I here? Why am I alive? Why was my spirit put into a body and brought onto this earth? And why do I have to die? And so this whole thing is
the biggest questions that you could ever ask.
Right in a sci-fi, and it's fantastic.
Well, it's encapsulated too. Like they're rushing through the entire arc of our lives in 4 years.
Right.
And our deaths are also indeterminate. We don't know. We have a 4-year window. It could be on that last year, 360 days. It could be 370. Who knows? But you're going to expire roughly on this. Just having to go through your entire cycle of life, and you only find that out in what, year 2.5? For them?
Yeah.
And realize I don't have much time left. And all I've been doing with my time, or what Rutger Hauer talks about in the end, like you wouldn't believe the things that I've seen.
Yeah.
And we start to describe it, some of it is beautiful and it's breathtaking. I can't imagine what like the rings of Saturn look like up close.
Exactly.
Amazing. Or geysers off of a Titan or any of that stuff, and you're like, wow, that'd be impressive to see, but also to see like gunships and just death all around you.
So much death.
What man is willing to do to themselves. For what? For what purpose? For what gain? To what end?
Right.
Yeah, but the Tears in the Rain, the fact that if that was, in fact, but I believe it is, so fully encapsulates the entire sentiment within one sentence.
Yeah.
And that, in essence, is what we're all asking ourselves. What is the point of life? Why am I here?
Right.
Do I serve a purpose? Is this all meaningless? Or can I find something out of this, dear God?
Right.
And to actually meet your maker and be like, you fucking dick.
Hell, man.
Just, why? Then never meet your maker.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. Like, because you may not find the answers you're looking for.
You're never going to find. There is no
exactly.
answer that you're willing to accept.
Yeah, exactly. And then it leaves the question that who knows if we'll have it answered in the sequel. Was Deckard a replicant? Is that the reason why he can hunt them so well? And why he's the best at what he does? Is he is a replicant himself? Scott Mantz on our Cinephiles podcast, we did the breakdown of Blade Runner. His theory is that actually the Edward James Olmos character is the Blade Runner and not Deckard, because Deckard's a replicant.
Because he's always shows up.
He's always showing up. He's always one step behind Deckard, wherever he's at, leaving his little little origami, all those kinds of
and
things.
his eyes are kind of like cataracted almost.
Yeah.
They're kind of glazed over, so mask.
Right.
With all the reflective.
And so I find that fascinating. So if Edward James almost shows up at 2049, I'm going to lose my motherfucking mind.
They're going to have to CGI him.
Well, why? He's still alive.
Kind of, like Kurt Russell. You know what I mean? From Guardians. So he doesn't age if he's a replicant.
Yeah, that's
why
a big
would
point.
his cells degrade? He would just still look the same. So it could be him doing
Many
all the
years
voices
later.
and whatnot, but they'd have to...
Right.
That or the Mike Douglas and Ant-Man or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
the
see.
Benjamin Button technology. It's everywhere.
Because at Hall H, he did the voiceover for Blade Runner 2049 for the presentation. Or Edward James almost.
Oh, really?
And so I was like, fuck. I was just going crazy because I love that movie so much, and to see that he's still part of it in some way, I'm like, oh man, if he's in the movie, that'd be fucking great.
Blade Runner 2049. Directed by Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
You guys have no idea how much he loves this one.
I am head over heels in love with this director.
Yeah.
This director, his back catalog is insane. Every single movie that he's done always pushes the audience.
Yeah.
He never panders to them.
Nope.
He is saying, this is the product I'm bringing to you. Think about it or get out.
Right.
You know, do your work as an active member of the audience right now.
Yeah.
I have so much love and appreciation for him, for everything he's doing. Arrival was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was just perfect. I cried like a baby at the end. Spoiler for that. I just cry, you know.
You're a crier.
Yeah.
His emotions came quick as a man at 5 or 6 years old.
A lot at a young
Totally
age,
corralled
guys.
them at 6.
I progressed into a crying man.
Yeah.
Well, Matt and I, if you listen to the top 10, you guys know, like, from having done it live, like Matt and I, Sicario is our favorite film from 2015.
Yeah.
It's a
It's a
great
motherfucking
movie.
crime. It wasn't nominated for Best
Exactly.
Picture.
Exactly.
And we will
Yeah, I enjoyed
die
it.
on that hill together.
Exactly.
Amen.
Yeah, I was about to say we were like almost like Office Space, like on this side of the table, my
Yeah.
friend. We, not the opposite because that's what it is in the movie, but
Yeah.
we are in agreement. Kind of like, don't you even sweat it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because after Sicario, just like you got me.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got me. Even if the next one's okay, I'm still gonna like. I trust you because you told something that we talked about it so many times. But something that I've read 30 articles about. All the gang violence that's going on Mexican borders.
it's miserable.
Like
Miserable.
30 heads just showing up in the town square.
Yeah.
There's
you
another
go.
town where the mayor was this girl that just got out of high school because nobody else would run. The last like 5 or 6 had gotten killed within the first like couple months of being in office.
Yeah.
And you're
So
like,
horrible.
it's nonstop.
So
It is
horrible.
nonstop. You can just keep
Yeah.
reading these over and over and see that
Horrific
movie.
stories.
So yeah, after that, like I'm, I can't wait to see the next Blade Runner.
Yeah.
I cannot
Yeah.
wait.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the next, well, he's not involved in the next car. I guess he's producing. He's
That's
not
true.
directing,
Yeah.
it, so, which is a shame.
Yeah.
But like,
the movie Incendies, nominated for Best Foreign Film.
Oh.
That was my introduction to the man.
I've never seen that.
It is just exceptional.
Okay.
Listeners, take note. Incendies. Somebody watch this movie,
Yeah.
please. Everyone that I talk to is like, I don't even know what you're saying.
well,
right
it's
now.
because you tell them ahead of time that you don't put.
All the energy you're doing for Gary Oldman, going, nobody else recognizes the villain role he does. And we're all in agreement. You should be saving for this. Why aren't you people seeing this?
Just watch the damn movie.
I think the problem is you're telling that you wouldn't put Fugitive in your top 10. Then you're telling what movies to watch. It's like, I'm not listening to this fucking guy.
was on-
I'm not watching anything this guy tells me to
I
watch.
fought for it to
Man's
be on
got
the
a
list.
point.
I fought for it to be on the list.
Man's got a point.
Cody has a very strong
And Empire
personality.
itself.
All right.
Hey, now.
He knows how to say no.
Yeah,
all right,
true.
and he told me no many times on that. It's like
No, I
we're
did
not
not.
taking regard the Henry.
I like
off.
that eventually it
we are
stopped
not
being
doing that for
it
anyone.
stopped being no and just 42. 42.
It's staying on there.
Not even saying no. It's all you got. That's a fucking in the period of every sentence I got for you, motherfucker. 42.
And every time I talk to him, 42.
40, exactly. 42.
But I thought that it was important to have 42 on the list because it was one of his latest films.
Yeah, sure.
That was more the thing. Like,
films.
one of his best he's been recently.
Yeah,
I
you
wanted to
didn't
throw that in there.
What about Force Awakens? Wouldn't you have thrown him in for that? He did a nice job. No.
He threw that on my list, and I was like, nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope. Not happening.
Yeah.
All right, so that was
I was happy when he died.
That was, our.
That's
That was
gosh.
that was
Two.
your 3 hour
Everybody's seen it.
2.
What do you got at 2?
What do we have it to? Oh, we have a Star Wars New Hope.
A New Hope.
Okay.
Okay.
I had that on my list higher than Jedi. That's where we compromised on Jedi.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not even on your top 10?
Nah, no,
No.
Hope's not on our
Oh.
list.
Okay, so we just did a little
Okay,
reversal of
guys.
roles. Let's not
Okay.
flip our
Okay.
shit
Although
out
everyone
here.
who yelled at us in the comments, go yell at them
Jesus
now.
Christo.
Okay.
Jesus
Star Wars,
Christo.
I
guys.
think it's more Mark Hamill and Leia's film, but Carrie Fisher's film, than it is Harrison's.
It's the introduction to Han.
He disappears
True.
for like
It's the-
45 fucking
Oh,
minutes.
John's
but
got a
who
point.
shot Greedo first?
He's got more of a storyline in all the other ones because once they realized we got Harrison
He
Ford.
also saves the movie at the end with.
That's true.
I wanted to talk to Cody about this. Cody is the knowledgeable one of those two. He knows things, and it's like, Cody, where's the best character?
You're
arc
turning to a
for
man-
Harrison Ford.
it's barely 24?
He looks to me for advice.
He wears oversized suits.
25.
But he took the suit off years ago. It's fine. Authority figure, he is not.
But he knew. I thought that he knew. I thought he knew the right way to go. And A New Hope for me is just like, not only the introduction. Well, it's just the introduction. That's all
It sets off like the biggest story ever, like in movies right now. Like it deserves to be this high on the list. I
Exactly.
think.
Launched a
It's-
character, for heaven's sake.
You're right.
You know?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're right.
Can't argue that.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, once again, I had it higher than Jedi on my list. I agree with you, but at the same time, like his argument of the overall meatiness of where the character goes, he gets more to do in all the others. So if you got to choose two,
Yeah.
You know, but kind of less is more sometimes, right?
That
guys?
argument.
No, but obviously he's great in the film, and he has like all those moments that are comedic, like when he's messing around with the console, and he's like, "Everything's fine down here," and all the stuff that he does.
Did he ask how they're doing?
Yeah,
Like, who would ever do that? Yeah, so what's up with you? Huh? You talked to your mom lately? You probably call your mom.
how are your kids? How's your wife and my kids? And he shoots the thing, and then the trash compactor stuff is really great, and you know it's funny. And then when he has the stuff with Leia, but then when he comes back at the end, but he disappears for so long in the period, so long a time in the movie that for me it kind of I didn't want to put. I felt I couldn't comfortably put it on the list because he's not in it as much as I would like him to be.
I can't fault you for that.
I understand. I understand.
As the guest, I can't fault you for that.
Fair enough.
You're right.
The host.
You're right.
Guest to the host. You're
All
right.
right, so let's move on to our number one.
Yeah,
Our
let's
number
all
one
just
is-
say it together.
Oh, is it your number
I
one?
think we got it, guys.
Well, you already let slip, so they know.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just surprised it's number one on
A lot
the
of
list.
relief now.
I thought Mosquito
Yeah.
Coast would be number one on there.
Just to say, screw you, Rocha.
Hollywood Homicide is what we're going to talk about today. Yeah.
It stretches the boundaries on
Devil's own.
Goes into his comedy range for that one.
All right, guys, but 3, 2, 1.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yeah, number
All
one.
right.
It's the best one.
His best.
It's the best one.
It's his best.
You guys take it because to me, Blade Runner is my favorite. So you guys talk about it.
Oh,
It's the best
I
Indiana
love
Jones
Crusade.
movie, though. You agree, right?
No.
I don't.
He does not agree
I
with
don't
that.
think
He
it's the
takes
best.
Raiders.
I think Raiders is still better.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because you
No.
can't use
So
the
that's so
argument
much more
that
heart
Harrison
and
Ford
emotion with
introduced
this
the
one.
character in New Hope and not use the same argument for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I can easily do
enough.
that. I can do whatever the hell I want.
But the beauty is what he can't do.
But with Last Crusade, the beauty is he now has a counterpoint in Sean Connery that he's never had before.
Exactly.
And the way their interactions relationship evolves throughout the movie and
it's
gets to that
delightful.
final
Beautiful.
scene.
It's beautiful.
It makes me love the character anew.
Yeah.
It finds another like a layer and complexity within it
Flawless.
that I didn't know existed. And now that I've seen it, be like, let's do another one of these. Let's buddy cop this. You
Yeah.
two now go run off and fight somebody else. Go to South America and
yeah.
chase after the Nazis that got away. You know what I mean? Find an artifact, do something. But the seamless blending of action and comedy to where the jokes are earned and deserved, but they never distract from. You were talking about like the physical stuff from earlier. You know, he hits one guy and it nails into two other guys,
Yeah.
and they all kind of go down. And it's just like exactly. Or the pen is mightier than the sword.
Yeah.
And they think they've got the one up, and then real terror comes down, and Indiana has to save them from that. Like just all the back and forth, and eventually the commonality they find of the respect and mutual feeling of, look, we're all people, and I love you, and I want to care about you. I'm not judging. I'm not of any state right now. Please, I'm here to help you. So earned. I love it.
Fantastic. I could watch a whole movie of them just riding off into the sunset for 2 hours.
Like, Yes.
It's just credits roll the entire time. I would
just
absolutely
loop
watch
that on
that.
the,
Just keep it going.
yeah.
Absolutely. Every
Yeah.
scene between them is gold. Absolutely. My problem is that I don't buy the romantic storyline. I think it's weaker than the Ravenwood stuff that he has in the first one. Elsa is not that redeemable of a character, and I also think I don't like what they turn. What's his intelligent? What is a companion from the college? What's his name?
Marcus Brody.
Yeah, Marcus Brody. In the first one, he's an intelligent guy. He knows what he's doing, trying to warn Indy from all the stuff that's happening. But then they turn him into a bumbling idiot for
John
comedic sake.
Rhys-Davies?
No. That's Sala. That's
Yeah,
Sala.
Sala.
Exactly.
Yeah, Marcus
exactly.
Brody's the older gentleman, the white guy.
He's the one they say like when Indy's like you'll never catch him. He's got a 2-day head start.
Yeah.
He knows
Yeah.
he knows people wherever else, and they go to I don't even know where that
Cairo
is,
or something, or
Morocco.
Tunisia or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just like, excuse me, we're walking down, sticking out like a sore thumb.
Right.
But I think there is that was still believable to me in that. Have you ever said the phrase like that kid I knew was street smart but not book smart?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the opposite of that. Book
That's
smart
Cody.
but not street smart. Yeah.
Look out for me, guys.
So I believe that there's a guy that just was nerdy his whole life and got into museums, and that's his entire life.
Right.
So it seems believable to me.
I feel like there's a Marcus Brody prequel somewhere in this story. I feel like you can create a Marcus. If you were going to keep the Raiders of the Lost Ark
I'd watch
universe
that.
alive,
I'd
I
watch
think you
it.
could create a Marcus Brody prequel that would really work.
Starring Shia LaBeouf.
Oh,
Get him in there.
no.
Yeah, he's out on the next one.
Oh, he better be.
On purpose. I'm sure. All right, well, let's combine our lists here.
Okay.
So,
right.
obviously,
stop down for
we
like
all have
10
the same
minutes?
number one.
No, we keep it going now. This is fully live on the podcast.
Yeah. This ain't video anymore, Adam.
Yeah, I wish we had the whiteboard for no other reason.
Oh, about to say.
Cody.
Just hear the squeaky
Bring it
noise
on out,
again.
buddy.
Yeah.
Cody on the whiteboard.
Yeah.
All right, so we had Blade Runner at 2. What'd you guys have?
At 2, we had Blade Runner at 3. We had
Yeah.
Star Wars at 2.
All right, we don't have Star Wars at all, so let's put Blade Runner there.
At 2?
And
Yeah.
then New Hope at
Nice.
3. I think that's
That works
fair.
I mean, we're
That works
okay
for
with
you.
it.
That's-
If it's that high on your list, we have to kind
I
of
love it.
respect that, don't you think,
Dude,
Matt?
we are the guests.
Sure.
Sorry, Matt.
I'm not gonna fight you.
Oh, he seems
That's
a little
fine.
upset.
No. I'm
It's a little upset.
So, what do you guys have next?
writing down. So
We
I
have
got it.
Raiders at 4.
We
Where
have,
do you have Empire?
We have Empire at 6.
We have Raiders at 5, so we have to put Raiders up there.
I'm
well,
willing to put Empire at 4.
Yeah, I mean, we can
Just to try to make up for the fact that we've angered you
kind
today.
Of element. I don't
see,
like.
I was more of the thinking of maybe we bump Raiders to 3, because we both have Empire. We don't have a New Hope. I want to respect it, but at the
I
same
understand.
time, since we don't have it,
Makes sense.
Sure.
maybe we should cater to the commonality.
Put
but
Empire further down. Yeah.
That's just me.
Okay.
Rocha's not liking this.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not a big fan of doing that because I
Ruining
respect
the
that it's
integrity
high
of
on your
the
list,
list
and just because we don't have it doesn't mean we can't respect
Hanging
that.
me out to dry, making me look like
No,
the
no,
asshole.
I'm just saying
making
because
me
I know
look
this
like
comes
the
up
asshole.
between us all the time too. All right, so we're doing that at
Bitter
number 3 now.
arguments.
Empire
Bitter.
Strikes Back. Is that what we're saying?
Well, you just shut me. You just undercut me, and then they swung back to you. You guys
No,
are
no, no, no,
the
no.
worst flip floppers of all
I
time.
can-
I don't know what
it
to
only
say.
makes sense over on that side. Yep.
Don't listen to
This guy's
Cody
talking
on
the
that
straight
one.
talk.
I blacked out the last 30
No,
seconds.
I can protest, but still acquiesce. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So what do we say? New Hope at 3.
A New Hope at 3.
Empire Strikes Back at 4, or Raiders at 4.
I would say we want to split up the Star Wars.
Yeah, I agree. Raiders
It
at 4.
feels better that way.
Okay, Raiders of the Lost Ark at 4, and then Empire.
With
don't
Empire.
push your luck.
Empire
I'm
at
not
5.
pushing a thing.
So Empire at 5,
Just pushing buttons right now.
and then
We got next Fugitive, which you don't have.
Okay, put it on there, guys.
Keep
Put it on there.
Keep it. You know, maybe
I have to try to make up for this somehow.
Throw it in like 6-ish.
that's where Fugitive is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
what do
that's
you
perfect.
guys have next?
We haven't put Witness up there
I know,
yet.
Witness has to be.
Witness was our
Witness
5.
at 7. Fine.
See, Witness should actually be above
oh yeah,
Fugitive.
we had it at 5.
You know, but I already wrote it down.
no,
It's kind of
6?
on
I think
paper.
you're right. I think
a
Witness,
little
since we
arrow
both had it
kind
at
of
5,
action.
it should be higher than Fugitive, don't you think?
really
Since they didn't
has
have
to
Fugitive
be.
on their list.
It
Judging
has
by our
to
own
be.
rules.
We have Fugitive higher.
We do.
Yeah.
They don't even have it on their list.
Guys,
And we
telling
just
you.
acquiesced to
Have it
them
on our list.
twice. Let's
Did we?
Let's stick up for ourselves here a little.
I don't know, guys.
Throw a
I know
sack,
it's your
Rocha.
show,
Come
but
on.
we also
Let's
have
do it.
things to say.
We did New Hope, then Raiders over Empire. Slotted Raiders down at 5. So we're going to take Fugitive. at
Raiders
6.
is at 5? I thought Empire's at 5.
Empire at 5. That's what
Okay.
I'm saying.
So Fugitive at 6 then?
Yeah,
Witness at 7. All right. What do you guys have next?
We had Air Force 1 at 7.
We got that at 8.
Okay.
Then we got
Perfect.
Patriot Games.
Well, we have Jedi. Where's Jedi? Where are we going to put Jedi?
10.
We don't have that at ours, but we can put
Yeah.
it at 10 if you want.
Yep.
Yikes.
Unless you guys really want regarding
Air
Henry
Force
in there.
1
at
is
10.
number
It can
8?
happen.
Is that what you're saying?
Air Force 1
that's
for
an
us
X for
is number
sure.
You want to
7.
take Air Force 1 over Jedi?
Big time.
All right.
Jesus,
respect
okay.
that, I mean.
From a guy that had to go to Cody for
Yeah.
Star Wars knowledge, that doesn't mean all that much to
This
me.
man's very knowledgeable.
I mean,
He's
I
a
like
very
Jedi more,
knowledgeable
but
man.
yeah.
We're going to put Jedi at 9 then.
I'm fine with that.
Done.
And then we'll put Patriot Games at 10.
Sure.
Does that work for you, Matt?
Oh my god, I love that.
Okay.
Or are we doing Presumed Innocent? No, Patriot Games, right? Because that's
Patriot
all
Games.
lists.
Presumed
Yeah.
Innocent. Haven't
All
seen
right.
it. It was
Boom.
a wee boy.
Cody.
All right.
Okay.
Matt, you want to intro this?
Yeah, we had a little surprise. So we one day I came in and I said, "Hey, John, what do you think of this idea?" And I told him, he loved it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, our stay here at Collider ended before this idea could come to fruition.
Very
And I-
politically well said. Yes.
Yeah. And I already have all the equipment. So here was the idea that I floated to John when we sat down to do our combined list, because people missed us banging on the table like
Yes.
we do currently in the audio form. And I was like, it'd be fun if we just had a drum. And like Cody comes in, doesn't say a damn word, and just sets the drum down, does the drumming in between, and then just walks right off. And that is the entire bit. It is 12 seconds long, and just he will flash his Twitter handle, and then that's it.
Yes.
You'd
Let's
ask
see how
for
good he
confetti
is.
as well. A
Yeah,
little confetti.
exactly.
I forgot about the confetti.
The confetti.
All right, how are we doing? Now, who's going to... Okay, so...
I'll read the numbers. You do the
okay.
list.
Sounds good.
Okay. Do I go first?
Go for it.
Okay, ready?
I'll talk over you, so when I stop my sentence, you stop.
Okay.
Got it? Go. At number 10,
Patriot Games.
At number 9.
Return of the Jedi.
Coming in at number 8 is
Air Force One.
in the 7th spot.
Witness.
At number 6.
The Fugitive.
Coming in at number 5 now is
Empire Strikes Back.
in the Quattro spot.
Raiders of the Lost
He's really good
Ark.
at that.
He is really good at that. But I'm
At
starting
number
to
3.
Star Wars: A New Hope.
At number 2.
Blade Runner.
And finally, our number 1 Harrison Ford movie is...
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
No! There it is. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really wish we could have gotten to do that on the air. It's all
Yeah,
right.
maybe one
And we stayed on longer.
I'm
Maybe.
starting to see what adjustments we would have to have made to have that effect on the show.
It's totally worth it.
You'd have to be in the other room
Boy,
doing
totally
drumming,
worth it.
I think.
That was great.
That was awesome.
You were
a lot
really
of
good
fun.
at it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
were very
really
good
good
at
at
it.
I used to drum a little bit in high school. It took me a little bit to get the rhythm back, but yeah, it was fun.
Wow.
He's knowledgeable and he has the rhythm.
That's right.
Yeah, that's all. I've always said that about Cody.
He says it all the time. Always, every day. Cody, knowledgeable in rhythm. Man.
That's on his Twitter handle.
Yeah.
It's
my bio.
It's bio. True. Guys, thanks so much for being on the
you.
show.
Such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for inviting us. Really, always been a huge fan of you guys.
Thank you.
Coming in here, watching you guys' show, maybe one of the best things that was coming out of this studio kind of deal.
It was my favorite show to be
Oh,
like,
really?
to work
to be a
on.
part
Yeah,
of.
at
I
the
mean,
time.
like
Yeah,
the
it was-
individual personalities that you
I
guys bring
appreciate
in, the knowledge that you guys bring in about all the films that you watch. I always had like a very high level of respect for it. So it was a genuine pleasure to be with y'all.
Damn.
Yeah.
Look at emotions for real on this motherfucking
I
show.
know.
Ugh.
Yeah. The thing is, they said that before, after a month,
Yeah.
you guys are our favorite show.
Yeah.
And it was like,
You're good.
that means so much to me.
Yeah. You're really
good. It really does. Because I come once a week now, so I know everybody's name, but that's about it at this point.
Yeah.
And we love doing we had to make some adjustments to be on camera, to be video. We couldn't go on the longer tangents that people love about our show.
Yeah.
But we still enjoyed doing the show here as much as we could in the situation that it was. And you guys are a huge reason why we enjoyed it because of whatever our issues might have been and how they were trying to change the show. We knew that with you two, you guys always received the show in such a warm way that it made it fun to do it. And so at least when the doors were closed and the camera was turned on and the mics were turned on, we were in a loving environment, caring environment for the show. And that made us want to do the show and enjoy the process.
Yeah, like the fact that you guys didn't care that we would reach out to you and hey, but what do you guys think? Nope, all right. Then. It's like,
we're
if you're in
passing
the
on that
room,
one.
we want it. Your people, you're sitting over there.
Interact.
I love that we went to you guys on the American war films or whatever, and be we were in deadlock and be like, fuck it, let's go to the judges. And actually, Dennis was in the room, so we had a tiebreaker.
Oh, that's right, Dennis.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, but I mean, just on stupid. I can't remember what it was. It was like the second show or something, and I said a joke, and Adam, you had been laughing like whatever, been so positive, and I could just see over the top of the monitor, you're like, no. And I said on air, I was like, nope. I was like, all right, well, what are you gonna do? Literally said it on air, but I was like, all right,
some, you lose some.
but I didn't feel judgment because I knew that you were following along and enjoying what we were doing.
Exactly.
Just to see the eyes be like, no. And it wasn't a
got it wrong
shitty
in
thing.
this
It was
one.
like, no, you take chances. Sometimes you fail. What are you going to do? But that's when I knew I liked this place. I think it was like week 2. And I was like, all right, I could do this show in here with John as long as you guys are here.
Yeah.
Like, I would be pissed if one day one of you couldn't make it. I'd be like, shit.
It's not the same vibe.
Yeah, it's not.
Because you guys got the show. That's what was really
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
You guys understood the show we were trying to do. And so that meant a lot.
It doesn't take like a high mind to it's a perfect show. It's perfect in its inception.
We're just here to have fun.
Yeah.
And it's about you guys filling out with the beautiful commentary that you guys bring. You know, I mean, and you guys do a fantastic job. The banter is right on point. It's always right on point. I didn't know how tonight was going to go. 18 days.
He was really nervous.
I was really nervous.
Really? He's like, Cody, you excited about this? And I'm like, it's going to be
Yeah, I
fun.
like
dude.
both of you so much. I'm not concerned. It's not like when you don't know someone and be like, hey, come do this. The other person doesn't know and be like, all right, well, let's figure this out.
Yeah, and it was our way of giving back to you guys because we knew we would take care of you guys on the show. Like you guys took care of us when we were doing the video show. We
Always
knew,
mad
that's
props
why I
and
didn't
things
understand
like
why you guys were nervous because I was like, Matt and I are going to take care of you.
Adam was
Yeah.
nervous. I was fun. I've been on this show before. Have you
That's not what I
Matt,
heard.
did you forget
We'll
that?
get that
Yeah.
behind
This is my
the scenes.
second time on the show.
That's true. That's true.
Boy, yeah. No,
That's not what I
okay.
heard, but I heard it was more one-sided affair
Oh.
as part of the bidding. Yes.
Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for coming on the show. If people want to follow you on your social medias, where can they follow you, Adam?
Yeah, they can't follow me anywhere.
No, you're not on social media at all?
I'm not a part of the process. I try to stay out of the machine as much as possible. I work at Collider Videos, so please check out our videos. Subscribe to the channel. Give the thumbs up if you like the videos.
Yep.
Go in and check out, what's over here or what's right there. Yep. This is not video.
No. Stop pointing at things.
That's the new end cards right there. Yeah. Well, that's me. I'm done. My name is Adam Smith. Enjoy capitalism, folks.
All right, Cody. I'm on Twitter at the Real Cody Hall. Behind the scenes at Collider all the time and schmoes. And then me and Cops are relaunching our YouTube channel. You guys know Cops. We're doing amateur hour films. We're going to have a bunch of stuff coming your way.
Nice.
So subscribe to that.
There you go. And you guys do the Wanger Show.
And we do the Wanger Show. Right. Shit, I forgot about that. Every week.
Yeah. You got to plug that, buddy.
Wanger Show is a really fun podcast. We'll get you guys on there. You guys will be perfect.
I would love
At this point, I'm boycotting because I already said, how have I not been on? And I've never done that to a podcast before. I was like, come on, Cody. I enjoy your company so much.
I'm sorry.
How have you not invited me on? And
it's true.
The fact that you have to do it on air means it's a hollow.
Yeah. Now I feel horrible. I already felt bad about the 42 thing.
Oh, it's all showbiz with you. That's what everybody says.
And just to promote it, you're listening to the SK Plus podcast channel where you have shows like The Wanger Show, you have our show, The Top 10 Show, you have The Outlaw Nation, you have Don't Be a Beardo, you have Schmodown Rundown, After Schmodown. A lot of shows on there, so thanks for subscribing and listening. If you haven't left comments for the other shows, leave comments for the other shows. Leave comments for our show, Wanger Show, all the shows. They live on those comments, and it really helps us keep the channel going and keep listeners coming and subscribing to us. So tell everyone that you know about all the great content on here. Yeah,
please do. And then we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a second. We're just going to let these guys get out of here.
Yeah, sure. Thanks again, guys.
All right, thank you.
Awesome.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to that last episode. Matt and I wanted to come on and do a little news item, so to speak. We have been talking about this Patreon thing for a few weeks now, and we're actually now focusing on making it happen. Matt has some of the details. You want to tell him, Matt?
Well, we're going to start slow. Just like everything else we do, because we don't want to jump in and ask a lot, like too much of you and also too much of ourselves. We don't want to promise you the moon and then deliver not even the launch pad.
Right.
So it's going to be like small things at first. We have some ideas in the hopper. We're still hashing out basically the machinations of it, but by the time you hear this, we should have worked out the kinks, I think. Mm-hmm. So we'll be tweeting out the link. It'll be on our Facebook page as well. So just hit us up on those or Instagram, somewhere out there. But then we'll talk about it more fully on the next show. But whatever support you want to give. Once again, we're not going to be saying like, oh, at the $500 level, you get these things. We're not going to get crazy with this.
We're not televangelists, for God's sake.
Yeah. We're just doing basically. We're going to ask you for help to grow it.
Yep.
That's it. We're not going to get greedy. Yep. We're not going to, this isn't a cash grab. This is we'd like to get some T-shirts made. Mm-hmm. We have some ideas about, doing certain things with audio feeds.
Right.
We have ideas about, I don't know, just
studio time. We have ideas of being in a professional studio instead of constantly going to each other's houses. Like there's a place we can go meet, maybe even hire a technical person to record our show for us, so we don't even have to worry about all the editing that we do, all these kinds of things. Yeah, we could hire them.
Make it even easier to do these.
Yeah.
To not have to, when we show up, and then there's still a job that needs to be done after the work.
Exactly.
And some of these nights get long.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
You got your whole life during whatever time of the day, and then you got this.
Yeah.
And certain things happen sometimes when you record. You know what I mean? Certain things happen. It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. So if we had a professional helping us out with that, and with your help, we can pay somebody to do that.
Yeah.
And pay some people that, that have design ideas and stuff like that, and just get help from people and try and spread the love around and do something fun. Make an environment where you guys are enjoying it as much as we are, and create a supportive community, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah, and this is a voluntary thing. We're not saying like you need to give money to us or we won't survive. That's not it at all. We're saying you guys have talked about it. You guys have tweeted to us about it. So there's definitely interest on your end, and definitely interest on our end. So we want to create the scenario for you guys to contribute. If you can contribute, if you want to contribute, great.
Yeah.
Our content's not going to change in any way, shape, or form, whether you contribute or not. It's more a matter of just like, if you can contribute, great. It helps us kind of alleviate some of the costs of doing the show and the time and the other things, other ideas we have to build the show.
Yeah.
I mean, already when we started out, we were just in the hundreds, and now we're in the thousands and
Tens of thousands,
and that's a great thing. And we want to get even further because with your help and with your support, that's where we want to get to. And because we love doing the show as much as you guys love listening to us do the show, we enjoy doing the show.
Yeah.
So we want to expose the show to other people and more people, and turn this into a really big thing. And so it's just the only way we can do that is like getting some kind of a help financially to put this over the line. So it's, in no way are we saying like, you have to give money to us. We're just saying if you want to support the show in a certain way, you can. And of course, Matt and I have talked to things we can do, like we can give, like you guys can pick a topic a week. If you give a certain amount of money, you can pick
we're floating all kinds of different ideas.
Yeah.
Nothing is set in stone.
Right.
And
like we could bring back Thunderdome, where two of you like propose one movie, and one of you proposes a movie, the other one proposes a movie, and then we put it to a vote,
and
then
that
Matt
becomes Thunderdome.
And that becomes Thunderdome. Right,
Yeah.
right. It could be very fan interactive. So that's the goal here.
A bunch of different ideas floating around, but it's going to be baby steps at first. Now, I wouldn't expect any new audio because we need to build up a little bit of cash, because I would like to pay an engineer like Brian,
Yep,
to help us out, or someone be like, I know you're not going to, you would do it for free, and I don't want you to do it for free. You should get paid for the work, and we appreciate the work. And I know it's not a lot for someone in your business, whomever that is, because you're already doing it. But what do you charge? Your time is worth money.
Right.
Your expertise and your artistry is worth something to us. So that's what you're helping us do is make a better show.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
And the numerous people have, offered to pay for all kinds of stupid things in the past. Just ridiculous. We'll pay for your RSS feed for a
NBA,
basketball show.
NBA podcast,
Yeah. Which is ridiculous. That is a super expensive thing. If it gets big enough, you have no idea, and most of you out there, how much an RSS feed can cost at times.
Right.
And there's also like the cost of doing this. We have to figure out the tax situation and stuff like that, and we got to pay somebody to help us with that, and that costs money.
Right.
So before this actually pays a ton of dividends, we're going to keep it small so we can build it and grow it, and then figure out what you're willing to do and what we can provide for you.
Right.
So, so just look for us tweeting that out or putting it on our Facebook page. And thanks to Chris Alexakos, because I'm sure he'll be helping us with whatever we get coming in. Just weed through it all.
Yeah.
The guy's been an invaluable resource with everything in the past, since he's come on and helped us out.
Absolutely, yeah. Agree with that.
So that's it. That's it. That was our announcement. So, hit us up on Facebook or Twitter, and hopefully by the time you hear this, we have all the information that you need.
Yeah, and we'll get it going. And thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, everybody, for wanting to support and for egging us on to do this. It's really cool of you all to support the podcast in that way.